Bang, bang, skeet, skeet. Welcome to TRT. That is Tuck Rule Takes. I am Mike Sullivan.
Dynamic.
With me, yeah, I was hoping I could get through that intro because I was thinking about it the whole time, and I cracked.
You're a better man than me. I would have burst out laughing halfway
right when I hit the bang, bang. I am Mike Sullivan. With me, as always, Liam McDade. Liam, I'm not going to ask you how you're doing because we have guests in the house right now. I will start
me and my feelings.
I mean, honestly, we don't really care about your feelings here.
No, 100%. I don't care.
We're gonna start with the one with the Patriots jersey on. Diego, first, I want two things: how you doing, and second, whose jersey are you wearing?
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm doing great. Feeling great. Patriots are in the playoffs, so I can't feel any better than that. And I'm rocking none other than a legendary name in itself, whose words forever Foxborough will forever be grained in my head. So that person who I share my birthday with, Julian Edelman. So
no shit. Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Famous birthday.
Yes, sir. Man. And have rocked parties with the guy as well in his presence. So
can't go wrong with any 11. Drew Bledsoe, Edelman. It's like either way you're killing it, but I hold tight to my man Drew Bledsoe.
All right. Yes, sir. Also, we have another guest. Both of you guys have actually been on, so you're both recurring guests. Maddie B, hello. How's it going? You are not wearing a Patriots jersey, so I'm not going to ask you who you're wearing tonight. Like we're on the red
carpet.
Put
one on if you want me to.
But no, don't change for us, Maddie. We love you just the way you are. How are you doing tonight, Maddie? You ready to talk? You ready to talk about the Patriots?
I'm always ready to talk the Patriots with you, Mike. What could go wrong?
My man. Looks like he got in the mood before this too, judging by how much his eyes are open. So let's get this going. I'm loving this. Be focused up. Took his meds before he hopped on here. He is focused, razor sharp.
So, Maddie, you asked what could go wrong talking about the Patriots. Liam, you brought up that Maddie was razor sharp. So,
that's what
a couple things that went wrong was this fucking game over the weekend. The Patriots were not razor sharp, guys. I don't know why any of us thought that they were going to win this game. They lost 33-24. The last touchdown, some bullshit. Okay. I don't even want to count that, but still they lost. Miami is the twilight zone for the New England Patriots. They can't win. They cannot win there. They cannot win. I know that I've told some people, remember the Miami Miracle game? I was at that game. It was horrible.
That's hilarious.
It was horrible. I've never heard a stadium louder.
I would wake up in cold sweats at night and be like, Kenyon Drake. Your wife's probably like, all right, go back to bed. It's okay. You're not in Miami. My bad.
Horrible. I'll get like memories on Snapchat or like Facebook or whatever. And it's like, oh, you were at the game this many years ago. I'm like, screw you.
Like, just tackle him.
Yeah, it was horrible. So, yeah, they ended the season 10-7. Really kind of just an open floor now. We're going to talk about the game, obviously go into what's going on with the playoffs and all that stuff. And then we got a bunch of other stuff. We got a little awards thing planned a little later with Liam and I. But Diego, Maddie, I don't know who wants to go first, but what did you guys think of this awesome, wicked fun game? Wicked fun game to watch.
Diego, ladies first, you can go.
No, you rolled a fat Bloody Mary yourself, so you go first, sir.
No. Age before beauty, Diego. Go ahead.
You look like you need to diet more than I do, so go for it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm about to go.
Loving this ping pong here.
Right, well, I know, right?
Well,
serving it back and forth.
Diego wants to be a bitch, so I'll go first. What did I think of this game?
That's the.
It's the Miami curse. This is the scheduled loss every season. Everything that could go wrong will go wrong. That early pick 6 kind of sealed the deal for me right there. And then I thought, okay, we're going to lose this game. I knew that's when I knew this was going to be an L, but it didn't really matter because I knew we knew the playoffs were in sights for us anyways. It was bound for us. So I wasn't too mad at the loss, but it still stinks.
Are we all in agreement that this is a real thing? Is there a curse?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, like, I think maybe a week, like last game of the season against Miami is a curse. Like, then I'll admit it because, Fitzmagic kind of boned us. Yeah. And then we got screwed this year. Then I'll admit it. But the Miami Miracle wasn't the last game of the season.
No, it wasn't. But it just there always seems to be something. It's just I don't know what it is. I mean, granted, kind of like you said, Matt, like we're in the playoffs, so it's not the end of the world, but still a loss is still a loss. And this loss sucked. I mean, like it's great. Like kind of as the game was going on, I was starting to like to like make myself feel better watching it. I was like, well, hey, you know what? At least the Patriots were still in the playoffs.
Like,
you guys remember how we felt?
We can win.
Yeah,
and we're still in the playoffs.
Exactly. And I was like, like they still show some fight, but we'll get into that after. So Diego, what'd you think of it, man? I'm sure you probably have the same feelings we all do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I guess I'll go next. I'm glad I don't have a tampon in my mouth. Thank God. So no,
for everything.
Yeah, no, what I thought of this game was, at first I felt like disciplinary wise, we weren't there. We were making a bunch of careless mistakes that really ate us up quickly. And especially with the humidity and heat that there is in Miami, you just can't fall back like that, especially when you're looking to make a comeback in the third or fourth quarter, and physicality wise, that just eats alive at you. Secondary to that, I felt like Mac wasn't really in the zone. The best I saw out of him was really in the third quarter when he finally managed to focus, and that was towards like the end of the third quarter. But after that, frankly, we weren't in this game at all. We didn't show what true Patriots football looks like, what we showed against, other teams that we've been able to beat this season. So frankly, I I think we were sluggish, lacked discipline. The defense was not there. I think the only plus sign that I can see out of this whole entire situation is that even though the Patriots lost, we still won because Brian Flores is no longer there. And
bounced.
I mean, Miami will
sense.
always Miami one way or another. So
that doesn't make. Oh, but by the way, since you brought up Flores, Flores obviously they let him go today. As of right now, they let him go. Today is Tuesday as we're recording this, so he's no longer there. First of all, I think we can all be in agreement that was an idiotic decision. That's why a team like Miami will honestly never be good. That's why they've made the playoffs once since 2009. Big question though. Do you guys think, or do you want Flores to come back to the Patriots? I see that being like the hot, or kind of like the things getting thrown out there. Joe Judge also got let go right before we started this from the Giants. I would like him to come back because special teams has been kind of a little bit of a nightmare this year. But do you think Brian Flores, the Patriots should want him to come back, or do you think he'd even want to come back after being a head coach?
Personally, no. Personally, I think, that factor of having been a head coach, having been successful at being a head coach, having been successful at developing a quarterback that even to this day hasn't really shown much of what he's truly capable of, but somehow, some way, Flores has been able to give him that confidence to know that he can be competitive enough in the NFL and still be able to thrive in an environment that often pressures these quarterbacks to develop in a faster manner. Secondary to that, with the previous issues that we had in our locker room in regards to leadership, we had a chemistry where Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, it was always that tension of, who's really the leader in the locker room. And it was always like, nobody ever wants to play for Belichick. This season, we've seen nothing but these players actually have a lot of fun playing for this guy. And even the previous season too.
The F word. You said the F word.
Yeah, that's what we said.
You said the F word. Fun.
I did quite often.
Fun. It exists.
And frankly, even the past season, even though we didn't have much of a team and we didn't have much of anything really going for us, even with Cam Newton adapting to everything that he adapts, they still had that enjoyable environment in that locker room. And I think with Brian Flores coming back, whether it's as a defensive, assistant coordinator or whatever, you already have Matt Patricia there. So I'm not entirely sure that you really need Brian Flores to come back. At that point, it becomes more of who's doing what and who's managing what. It just becomes a battle that you don't necessarily need, especially in a playoff situation where you need nothing else but to be laser focused.
Is that not what the Pats do, though? Everyone leaves. Everyone comes back. It's always an open door. Come on back if you want to be successful. There's no, withering away period for a coach. Brian Flores can coach until he's Bill Belichick's age and old and senile and can't remember his way back to the grocery store. So there's no timetable for him.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing too with Flores, if you think about it, like, if you compare Patricia's record versus Flores, I mean, Flores was far more successful in everything that he did with an organization that was just as much as trash as the Detroit Lions. So either way, personally for me, I wouldn't want that damage to be done to Brian Flores. I think he deserves an opportunity to be a head coach somewhere else, somewhere where he can fully develop a quarterback. That's why, I know that us folks at Couch Guy Sports, we tend to chat often. I had suggested that he should be a perfect fit for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah,
and I think he could be I think he could be a very good fit for somebody like Justin Fields, who lacks that confidence because their previous coach was nothing but a trash bag.
He sucked. He had one good year, which, by the way, how wild is it that Matt Nagy, people that don't know who are listening, he was the coach for the Bears, won Coach of the Year in 2018. It's just crazy how fast the rise and fall happens of this. It's like a flash in the pan type of an award almost. That's kind of how
it's really
it seems.
not. If you look at it, like that 2018 team that Chicago had, I mean, it was built for success.
The
only reason
until they ran into the buzzsaw Eagles in the playoffs, then walk into him, bounced his ass out of the playoffs.
The only reason that
can someone mute Liam?
Don't worry, we will.
Wasn't successful was 2020.
They lost to an exceptional playoff team.
Liam, let me tell you, we don't want to hear about Walker to him once he is not in the playoffs. By the way, the Colts are not in the playoffs. Diego, I'm sorry. Proceed.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying, for 2018, like, Chicago Bears were built to succeed. If they didn't succeed, was because the coach absolutely sucked. And I mean, being his first season there, he had nothing else but to show that he could be successful and he could be the leader that they needed. 2019, he did all right. 2020, he completely collapsed. And if you look at his draft picks, that's why he collapsed. In 2021, you have 3 starting quarterbacks basically fighting for that same position. It's pointless. I mean, Nick Foles can be a starter anywhere if he really wanted to. Andy Dalton could be a starter anywhere really if he wanted to. And Justin Fields would have been a starter probably anywhere if he wanted to as well. So
that was just dumb that they didn't start Justin Fields right away. I think that was one of the first things with them.
Not only that, but
either sit him for the whole year or start him at the beginning. You got to pick when you can't play this weird game.
No, you can't play that game with a rookie.
No.
You just can't.
And if you look at how they managed that whole situation, at first they announced that Andy Dalton would be QB1, and then they go ahead in the draft and trade up to get Justin Fields. What are you doing? At that point, you were ready to fail.
But they didn't know Justin Fields was going to be available where they were picking.
Yeah.
Too. They thought Justin Fields was going to be a top 3, top 5.
Yeah, and he wasn't. Looks like everybody made the wrong choice and didn't pick Mac.
But
yeah, with Flores being there, kind of, I don't want him to come back because one, I think that's kind of a step. That's kind of a step in the wrong direction. You moved on. You got little Belichick. You got Gerard Mayo. Mayo is going to get some looks at being a head coach in the offseason. I don't think he should leave yet. I think he will. He hasn't been a coach long enough to go be a head coach. I think that's a thing in the NFL. But even if Mayo leaves, you did mention Patricia. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but him with not being the defensive coordinator, but him with Steve Belichick, them kind of doing their own thing. I think that'd be fine. But yeah, Flores.
No, that works.
Yeah, it would work. And right now, let's not act like I just pulled it up just to make sure it was still there. Patriots right now are the 2nd overall defense in the league. So like, I think they're doing fine. And again, sure. Like, you have good games, bad games, all that. Liam and I have actually spoke about this. I think the days of your shutdown defenses are gone. You don't have that anymore. Any defense, any day can give up a shit ton of yards or points, but it's just the good ones do that. They limit the amount of times they do that. So anyways, though, I did just want to kind of touch on the Brian Flores thing. We will start with this Dolphins game where we always start. Mac Jones, 20 of 30, 261, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. This was not a great first half. Diego, you said it. He kind of started to pick things up in the second half. But still, I mean, we got to remember that he's a rookie, and it's not making an excuse because we do still talk about him. He deserves the criticism, but he is still a rookie. That's the thing. A rookie quarterback just led a team to 10-7 in a wild card berth to go to the playoffs. I mean, in a competitive division, regardless of what anybody wants to say about the AFC East. But yeah, Mac Jones kind of just a mediocre day. Yeah, sure. 261 for the yards. But if you watch the game, which we all did, he looked a little frazzled, I would say.
I mean, like, I can't exactly blame the Patriots. Miami has the ultimate home field advantage, and it doesn't come in their stadium. I mean, let's be realistic. I've been to Miami. I would assume at least a couple of you guys have. Place is wild. If I'm a Patriots player with all the money in the world and I go down to Miami the day before a game, I'm not going to be in stellar condition. Matty B, I'm sure if we sent him down to Miami, he'd be scar-facing it up, face down in a snowy pile. But, like, it's just there's so many temptations, all the beautiful beaches, the beautiful women, the cigars, the everything that goes on there. Like, I think it's hard for players to play like that. I really do think that gets to some players, like in Vegas. I think that's why they have their struggles. It would be real tough to be a football player playing for Vegas. Like,
they got another dude who got a DUI.
Yeah, it's DUI city over there because the cops are super strict. But I don't think it's really a curse or anything. This was just a bad game. Like, Mac wasn't on it. He looked, like you said, frazzled. He figured it out toward the end, but, like, you're most likely going to get better as the game goes on regardless. Like, even the quarterbacks who have played super terrible, they start to figure it out by the third and the fourth and stuff like that. Unless they get benched and don't get the opportunity, as the game goes on, you're naturally going to get better and figure things out. I think that he had maybe his worst game. Like, he just wasn't pushing the ball downfield. The pick was awful. He just put them in a hole from the beginning. And then it looked like they could come back toward the end. Like I said, they were down 10 with like 4 minutes to go. And I was like, all right, this can happen. This is easy. We just punch it in. And then the Patriots defense lock city. Hell, if we have to get an onside kick, I trust this team to get an onside kick. Obviously, none of that worked out.
No.
And they got that touchdown in the desperation play toward the end there, which was criminally depressing. I just think it's one of those games, and I'm worried that this sets a tone going forward in the playoffs. Are you guys concerned in any means or another?
You are worried about that. Okay, because I wanted to ask you guys, because I see a lot of people where it's like, oh, the Patriots are, they're limping into the playoffs. They don't have that. They don't have momentum. They don't have this. They don't have that. But I don't know personally, and I'm just going to kind of say my piece real quick, then you guys can take it. I think, and I'm not just saying this because the Patriots are limping in, because I mean, shit, the Giants won. They were 9-7 the year they beat the Pat. Like, it's just teams. I think we've seen it with this team throughout the season. It's just any game any game they can win, they can lose, anything like that. So I don't think that it's I don't think it's a big deal that they kind of lost this game going in there, especially because the main reason I'm saying that, because you got people like McCourty, Slater, Hightower, you have a good leadership on this team. It's not like they're a young team, but they're not necessarily an immature team. I just think that's kind of overrated. The whole, they're going in there, losing 3 out of their last 4. Who cares? The slate gets wiped clean. How many times do we see a high seed get bounced by a low seed? And it's like, holy shit, they ended the year going, 6-7 winning and all that, and then they get bounced. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't know what you guys think, though.
I think it's easier to lose when you're riding high, though, and it's difficult to go in and play well when you're riding low as well. Like, I think either way, it's just difficult in the playoffs. If you're won your last 6 games and you lose, like, I think that's fairly common and easy. If you start out bad, I think it's also easy to lose. Playoffs are just shitty regardless. All right, what are you clowns laughing at? I'm on the edge of my seat here, please.
Nothing
Somebody pass the note up to the front.
Passing notes like fucking schoolgirls.
Forgot my Independence Day.
Diego started it. That's all
Diego sent a BHP, didn't he?
BHP. Sure. What's that?
Sure.
Butthole pick?
No, I hope not. But yeah.
I wouldn't be laughing if I got that. Trust me.
No, I don't. So, if I can
dressed in pink.
If I can reel you guys in,
the glue on googly eyes.
You guys do any of you two idiots think that the Pats losing 3 out of 4, losing this game in Miami, is going to really be detrimental or mean anything going forward in the playoffs?
Matty B, please share with the class.
I mean, like, it would have been nice to have home field advantage, or not home field advantage, but have a home game for the playoffs, so that we don't have to go to Buffalo, because I mean, yeah, it's Buffalo. We went there earlier in the year in the cold, and we won. But we can't go there and run it 43 times again and expect a victory.
And we not the.
Want to know something wild? I think it's either 10-4 or 10-3. The last 14 or 13 games, the road team in a wild card game has a 10-3 record. So
really,
yeah. So
that's a better.
Is Belichick playing chess while everybody's playing checkers? I don't know. He might be. But yeah, I mean, again, yeah, it would have been nice to have a home game, but I mean, I don't know, kind of in hindsight too, them losing this game, it wouldn't have mattered if they won either because the Bills still won. So no matter what, the Pats are going to end up playing the Bills.
This game, we were going to have to be on the road regardless because the Bills were playing the freaking Jets, and the Jets.
I was watching that game.
Jets put up a fight, though.
Dude,
Jets put up a fight.
I've never been a Jets fan ever until last Sunday when I was like, oh my God, they might actually win.
And I will say too, like they were playing some good football when Zach Wilson came back from his injury as well. Like that Tampa Bay game, Tom was on his toes. I don't think Tom had been that challenged.
So was AB.
Toes, yeah.
On his toes on the way out of the stadium, but
yeah, with no shirt on. But no, I mean that game against the Bills. Yeah, that game against the Bills, he had them all, begging for.
They were without their top three wide receivers too. He was doing really well. Like I wasn't a big Zach Wilson guy. After the two Patriots games, I was like, this guy sucks.
He sucks.
Yep. I was like, oh man. I was like, the Jets did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I mean,
I don't know. It is what it is. We're going on the road. That's going to be an awesome game. We will talk about that after we finish this up. Yeah, it's going to be round 3 rock fight. I can't wait for that. So I have a question. When it's third down, 3rd and 1, if you guys were to draw up a play, how many plays would it take for you to get to setting up 5 wide on a 3rd down? Because I don't understand why. I'm sorry, I had to stop. Did you guys see the kids looking in the back window?
Oh,
that 100%. Was terrifying. That was so okay. Full disclosure. I almost shit my pants just now. I think so. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, whatever, I will describe it. There's a window open behind me, and I don't know if it was a boy. There was a kid just staring.
They were in a screen mask, so I
don't know where that came from, but okay. Hope that they're gonna come back, and I'm gonna get them. But anyways, Josh McDaniels, 3rd and 1.
Sasquatch over there. Nice.
Why are you lining up 5 wide? Can anybody answer that question? I know, Maddie, you love Josh McDaniels, so can you tell me why he lines up 5 wide?
I'm kind of disappointed that the teams without head coaches right now aren't like reaching out for McDaniels because like he's right there, guys. Like, please take him. Take him away. You can have him for free.
They've read this book before, Maddie B. We saw this in Denver, the Denver Chronicles. It didn't go well.
Well, the Colts. It's freaking Indy because Indy, they don't want another Indy situation.
That was the most awkward says, thing I'll for come anyone work except for a Patriots fan. If you weren't a Patriots fan, you're like, "Whoo, that's weird." If you're a Patriots fan, you're like, "Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Who the hell wants to coach the Colts?"
Yeah, no, and I think that's probably why people aren't looking at McDaniels because he did, in case everyone's been living under a rock, who's listening to this, he basically had everything done, ready to go be the head coach of the Colts. Kind of just reneged on that real quick, and kind of told the Colts to F off, go take Carson Wentz and get bounced out of the playoffs. That was just a little nitpick. The real play I wanted to talk about with you guys. So 4th downs this year have been a roller coaster with Belichick. People have said that he's been conservative, not aggressive enough. I think you guys know the 4th down that I'm talking about. 4th and 1 on the Miami 49.
Yep. This fun little play.
This is the one that what the fuck are we doing? First of all, you go to the line, you do this weird like fake trying to draw them off sides. I don't know if you're trying to run a play, what you're doing. Mac does the head bob. That was wrong. False start. Now you got to kick it. Why not go up there and sneak the ball? Because every time they snuck the ball or sneaked the ball, whatever the fuck the word is for the rest of the game, I was like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme where I was just pointing at the screen being like, why didn't you do this before? It was 4th and 1. By the way, the 4th and 1 call when the ref came out and he was like, the ball needs to be adjusted 6 inches. He picked it up and put it down. Listen here, sir. I'm very familiar with what 6 inches is. That was not 6 inches. Okay. He picked it up. Thank you. He picked it up and put it down. I don't know if they had the camera on him the whole time. He did not move the ball. So I think it was a 1st down, but whatever. Wasn't 4th and 1. I'm like, oh, Belichick's going to go for it. Why not? Right. It's a game you kind of have to win, not necessarily have to, but it's it's 4th and 1, Miami 49. Let's take it. No. So that was the one time or one of the few times this year where I was with everybody else. I was like, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing? So, I mean, you can't win playing conservative like that. And clearly the Patriots lost. Not saying that would have won them the game, but I mean, would have went a long way to it, I think.
Yeah, Matty B, it seems like you had some strong feelings about that play.
I just wasn't a fan of it. Like I kind of agree with Mike. Like let's sneak it. Let's not be cute about it. Let's just sneak the damn ball.
Hell, I would have taken Damian Harris almost over a sneak.
Yeah, I mean,
Max not that bad at sneaking though.
He's not. He's not. But like,
he's a slippery little 6-inch snake. He knows how to sneak when he needs to sneak.
I'm a snake. Yeah, I don't like the QB sneak is the most unstoppable play in football. If you need 1 yard,
yeah.
Like I know it's not 100% success rate.
Into part dolphin whenever he's on the goal line and they do a QB sneak. He just jumps right
over. Anything. And the thing, it wasn't even a full yard. It was like 8 inches. Like all you had to do was just fall forward. Like that was it. It was one of those things, and I think that was just like kind of as you're watching the game, all the dumb flags, the dumb penalties. We'll get to some of the bullshit calls and everything. But
that Brandon Bolden call is fantastic.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about it, Matty. So Brandon Bolden,
had to get him
that was the greatest worst call I've ever seen in my life.
What? Let me set the scene. The Patriots defense makes a stop. Holy shit. So the Miami has to punt the ball. Cool. They go to punt it. Oh no, guys, it's a fake. What happens though? Looks like the Patriots have it. Brandon Bolden peels off the gunner, kind of comes back, lowers his shoulder. Yes, he does. But guess what? He didn't even hit him. And okay, I saw people nitpicking. Yes, he nicked his shoulder pad. That's not a flag. That's not a flag. That call right there led to what did it lead to? A touchdown, a field goal, something.
I think it was a touchdown. I'm pretty
touchdown.
Sure.
Yeah. It was either. All I wrote was that led to a score. So either way, you can't. It's things like that where, and kind of later on in the game when the Patriots were trying to build their comeback, they had some bullshit calls too. But it's like you don't want to blame the games on the refs because that's not it. The Patriots didn't make enough plays to win. But it's tough to do that. It's tough to mount a comeback when the game isn't being officiated the correct way. I don't know what they saw. He didn't hit him. What are we talking about?
I mean, it's any contact. I get it. It's the rule, but it's at some point. I know. I get it. I hate to be like the bearer of bad news or Mr. Officiating here.
You're an Eagles fan, and you're being like,
and I'm a Refs fan apparently, but it's just like it's dumb. It wasn't a heads up play exactly by Bolden either. It wasn't totally his fault, but you got to avoid it like the plague.
Like you know what it almost reminded me of? Like, first of all, the punter, by the way, he wasn't even really sliding. He did like that weird, stupid side slide. Like, I don't know if these people don't know how to slide. It like pisses me off. But like he did some weird like jump forward but slide sideways thing. Either way, he didn't hit him. It reminded me of the play that I think it was Miles Bryant got called for a few games ago when Josh Allen was jumping out of bounds or something, or someone was jumping out of bounds and he hit him.
It was Josh Allen.
And, yeah, it was him, and they called it, but like Josh Allen was going for the first down, like he had his arm extended, hit him. Yeah, it was just like one of those dumb, weird things. So like it's calls like that you kind of see, and you're like, all right, I don't like. It just seems like nothing's going right. You know, like I don't know if you guys get those vibes during the game sometimes where you're watching and you're like, ooh, yeah, I don't like just certain plays, certain calls, yeah, and you're like, I don't think that's gonna be a thing. Another call that was kind of bullshit, the Jalen Mills pass interference in the end zone. So I think when the hell was it? It was in like the third or something like that. I think that refs need to stop awarding quarterbacks with flags for shitty throws. Because if you watch that throw, I don't know who the receiver was. I don't really care because it's a Dolphins player. But Jalen Mills is covering him in the end zone. And the ball is further away and behind the receiver. The receiver flails. Jalen Mills is turning around looking for the ball, and then all of a sudden it turns into pass interference. That's a soft ass call, especially when it's in the end. Yeah, I don't get that. I think pass interference, by the way, also needs to be adjusted. It can't be a spot foul anymore. It can't be.
I mean,
I don't think it's a spot foul in college. I think
it's not. No, it's 15 yards.
No, then let's go.
Regardless. No, I like the spot foul, though. I do like that rule in the NFL. I just think Jalen Mills is a constant perpetrator, and they have their eyes on him more than any other corner specifically. They probably go into games and are shown tape by the NFL going, hey, Jalen Mills does this, this, and this. Call this when he does
he's physical.
this. Blah,
He's
blah.
physical.
He's done that. And like we've talked about on many shows before this, Jalen Mills has his problems in coverage. And when you know you're beat, you're most likely going to, flail and try and stop them. I don't think it was a good call. I don't think it should have been a call. I don't think it was a particularly catchable ball, but the receiver sold it enough. And it was the perfect mixture of the suspect dude covering him. The receiver sold it, and the pass was close enough to him where you could have made the argument he was going to lay out and make some acrobatic.
He might have jumped back.
It was like the backup tight end too. Like he's not making an acrobatic.
No, it wasn't. And Liam, by the way, you need to remember too. I feel like you forget this a lot when you talk about Jalen Mills. I don't know if you remember this. He's still nursing the injury, but he's coming back from the injury.
Right. He got hurt in week 4. It's like
I don't know.
I really shouldn't.
I don't know if you know how long it takes for a sprained ankle to heal. I don't think you understand. It takes longer than 7 weeks. So
you're right.
If Jalen Mills, if his play stumbles, this is why.
That is a 2-year injury. I know. I get it.
At least
we don't have to worry about seeing him this weekend, though.
At least, he's on the COVID. Yeah, he's out. Well, he might. Well, what's today? I don't know if he's. Because I know, like, if you're vaxxed, you can come back quicker. The same type of thing happened with Judon and Bentley last week, I think it was. I don't know. I hope he comes back because I think the last 4 games or something, he hasn't given up more than 20 yards receiving or something like that. So he's actually been really good. But yeah, I mean, you still need him. Just because you just need a capable body out there, a big body, someone who at least knows what they're doing. Yeah, but yeah, no, I love the nickname. But yeah, that play was bullshit. And again, I'm not going to sit here, and I saw a lot of Pats fans. I'm sure you guys all see it too. A lot of Pats fans are almost afraid to blame the team. It's like you want to sit there and blame the refs for the loss and all that, but it's like, guys, you kind of shit down your pants here. Like with everything. I mean, you had, I think, what was it? Lawrence Guy on the defense again, finally held them. Dolphins are about to punt. Lawrence Guy lines up over the center. What happens? The Dolphins go down, score a field goal. It's just these dumb penalties. My favorite one. Okay. Tua threw the ball directly to Devin McCourty.
Yes.
Devin McCourty dropped the ball. That next play, do you know what that was? The fake punt. The fake punt led to a touchdown. It's these dumb things that the Patriots aren't capitalizing on the opportunities, and the other teams are making them pay. Let me ask you, what does that sound like? That sounds like what the Patriots teams used to do to teams before.
Yep.
I hope it's something that doesn't go into the playoffs, but the Patriots got to capitalize on what they're doing, on what they're doing there with picks, anything, sacks, opportunities. Like, it just seems like there's so many dumb penalties that just rear their ugly head. And it's not a consistent thing because they've been good for it the last 8-9 games, but it just rears its head at the worst times. And this was the worst time. I mean, granted, you're still going to the playoffs, but I mean, shit, you had a game that you could have won. I mean, Tua wasn't scaring you.
Yeah.
I mean, this was all the running game.
I like Tua, but no, he's not like that sort of deep threat. Like, most of his deep passes, besides the one touchdown in the left corner, was like the pass interference one, and then he wasn't connecting so much from deep. He's a short guy.
He's not a 6-inch threat.
No, certainly not. Not like
no, he's not. But no, he's not. Definitely not.
Just so disappointing. It's one of those things that they left it on the table.
Yeah, it's the dumb mistakes. I mean, just to how like the Stars, like, this is why I think that bad shit happens in Miami. David Andrews comes out for one play. Do you know what happened on that one play? Mac Jones fumbled the ball on the snap. And I'm not saying that Karras did anything wrong. I'm just saying it just so happens that, okay, Andrews is out. It's not the hands that he's used to feeling down there. I don't know. Maybe the ball just doesn't come out the same exact way, which I'm sure it doesn't. It just, and they said that Karras snaps it with his right hand. So he's snapping with his right hand. Then he's going to come up to block with his right hand. So maybe he's trying to do it quick, a different angle. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's all what you're used to. There's a method to all that madness there, where it's like every little detail. Like, quarterbacks take snaps with centers before games if they have like a new center. It's all, you got to get the rhythm of everything. Yeah, always. And it's just all that bullshit. So, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, the defense too, shitty. I mean, Matthew Judon, there were some plays where he kind of whiffed on a couple tackles. He wasn't setting the edge. Not something that I'm worried about, but it's just the perfect storm of just shit. I mean, just bad stuff. All bad stuff. It was a shitstorm. It was a shitstorm. Picture like a tornado, but with shit. That's what it is when you go to Miami. When this team goes to Miami, it's horrible. I don't like it. And I'm upset that they lost. So I don't have anything else to say about this team because it's pissing me off thinking about this goddamn game. I thought they were going to go in.
To say about this quarterback though.
About who? Which quarterback?
Mac, ours.
You do? Is that what you said? Yes. All right. Let's go. Let's talk about Matt before we kind of put this shitstorm behind us. Talk about the playoffs.
Oh, all right. What do you guys think about our franchise quarterback in this 17-game stretch here? His first run at it, middle of the season, we were all thinking he was the GOAT. Beginning of the season, we were all like, all right, this is kind of suspect. Now we're at the end. It's all encompassed. Please drop the magic on me here before I give you my long-winded and very opinionated spiel.
I'll go last. I know everybody know.
All right, which one of you sexy fucks wants to start?
Well, I went first last time, so
I'll go first. All right.
Good thoughts, Diego.
Yeah, right.
I love it. I'm all for it.
I'll go first. Silence.
So right now, at first I was all about give the kid a chance, and I really was. And I still am. I don't see anything wrong with him. I do think that there's a lot of room for improvement, and as it should be for a rookie. So do I think he is the absolute next GOAT of the Patriots? Not quite yet. I need to see year 2 and going into year 3. Year 2 tends to be a sophomore slump for a lot of players as well.
Yep.
So therefore that component, do I think he sucks? No, probably the best surprise pick overall out of the whole entire draft, aside of Micah Parsons and a couple others that have successfully thrived in this year's season.
I refuse to acknowledge Micah Parsons, but that's fine.
Like Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, and others, they have thrived so far in their positions. And so my kudos to them. Do I think Mac overall could be moved on from maybe 3-4 years from now? There is potential to that. And the reason why I think that is, the up and coming class that's coming out of college right now seems to be that kind of center-minded class where there is a lot of growth and fast growth. And I think for Mac, unfortunately, a lot of rookie mistakes were made this season. And I think it shows that when it comes to the moments where he is needed the most, that pressure control is just not there yet. So I think there is a little bit of mental growth to be done there. I think there is a lot of being able to handle those emotions as well. And heading into a playoff as deep as this one is going to be this year, especially with a Bills team that's already accustomed to having played in the playoffs, especially with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Used to getting bounced by the Chiefs in the first game, but yeah.
Right. I mean, it's the Chiefs as well. That
True.
Chiefs was incredible. However, I think he's done well. He's done real good. I think the expectations that the words and expectations that there were about him in the draft were silent. And I'm glad that he was able to prove himself, because a lot of people thought that he was just an overhyped 3rd overall pick, when in reality, the guy showed that he should have been probably the 1st overall pick, maybe the 2nd, right behind Trevor Lawrence.
Definitely over Trevor.
In front of Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. So absolutely. But for me personally, I'm not saying I'm out on Mac. I'm in the middle. I'm staying neutral, and I want to see where he goes in year 2. I want him to continue proving himself, and I want to see far more development. I think, like I said, that pressure handling comes at a huge cost. And unless he's able to channel those emotions and be able to lock himself in the moment and be laser focused, that's when we will see the true potential of Mac Jones, because there's have been a lot of situations where pressure has amounted to him, where mistakes do happen. Like, for example, the third and one runs. Like, he should be challenging Josh McDaniels to do a different call. A lot of these third and one calls that, especially against the teams that we have faced, we should have been using our tight ends a lot more. And that is something that I will still focus on because our playbook is not deep enough. The tight end situation and not utilizing them to their full potential really aggravates.
One of the tight ends. Hunter Henry was used plenty.
Yeah, Hunter Henry was used plenty and kicked ass.
Yeah,
but then what do you do?
Tubbs.
What do you do with John Smith? What do you do with Devin Asiasi? What do you do with some of the other targets that you have that can also be dark horse potentials, much like Christian Wilkerson was as a wide receiver, and much like some others have been.
Marvel.
So, in my opinion, that is one of my concerns going into the playoffs. Our playbook is not deep enough, and there is nobody challenging Josh McDaniels in that locker room until Bill Belichick came in the middle of the season and was like, get your fucking shit together or I'm firing your ass, basically.
Even then, there were a few suspect calls. So if we can do this, make it easy to kind of compare, give me a letter grade here. Like you're giving Mac his end of season interview, the exit interview. How would you grade his season?
I give him a solid B.
Okay. So you said you were kind of in the middle, but B leans more like you were impressed.
I mean, I could say
C is average.
I could say B minus.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
say. Don't sway the defendant, jury.
No, I'm not.
Let him give his score.
There is
I mean,
wait till I have to say.
It's not B plus. I'll give you that. It's not B plus at all. Is it a C? No, not frankly, because there were some opportunities where he showed that kind of competitive mentality.
Yep.
And he carried himself really, really well as a rookie this year as well. Mm-hmm. No controversy, no nothing, just carried himself really professional there. Mm-hmm. And that for me speaks volumes of the person that he could potentially be in this league. However, again, like I said, that mentality of being able to control moments that are bigger than what they appear to be needs to be fully there and needs to be laser focused and channeled in. That's why for me, he's a B, maybe B minus person. I'm giving him a B because he truly did shut down a lot of the critics that were there. And that's why I'm sticking to that.
Good shit. Matty B.
I mean, well, we all know how I felt about him heading into the season. Wasn't the world's biggest fan of him just because
Matt, we were in the same boat.
I was skeptical of, Alabama.
Because you guys love Cam Newton. That's why.
Oh, no, it's not because of our love for Cam Newton.
More of that.
We were skeptical. We were skeptical because we didn't think he needed to start this
season. Heading into the season, Alabama quarterbacks didn't have the world's greatest name.
Nope.
They didn't.
God, no.
And the
if
curses.
you want to look where the future is going, you look at the past.
Exactly. And curses do exist in the NFL, as we all found out again this weekend.
They do. USC quarterbacks don't do anything as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maddie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you with your love for Cam Newton. Proceed.
There's no love for Cam Newton here. I mean, obviously, we probably would have went undefeated if we had Cam Newton, but that's
fine. And I mean, and it's also 3 against 1. You're not winning this battle, Mike.
Sorry, I like Cam Newton. Listen, everybody thinks I don't like Cam Newton. I've said it so many times. I like Cam Newton. I just don't think he's a good starting quarterback anymore. It's just as simple as that. He's not. He's very clearly not.
If you like Cam Newton, you hate him. Have to then reason yourself. You just either like him or you hate him, and it's fine. If you hate him,
I like Cam Newton, the man. I don't like Cam Newton, the football player. I don't think he's good.
Perfect.
So you're a hater.
Not a hater. Did you watch him play this year?
Yeah, he was fantastic.
You are a bum. You are a bonehead. Matty B, I'm sorry. Mac Jones, what do you think?
I mean,
I'm sure this is going to be great.
I don't remember a season where there was this much excitement at the quarterback position, excluding Tom Brady. Growing up, we were all excited. Yeah, we had to watch Tom Brady play again. There was a lot of excitement, like even at training camps this year. Liam, I saw you at training camp. Diego, I saw you at training camp. There was a lot of excitement there. Diego, we found out a lot about Mac just at training camp alone, and we found out that David Andrews is a big Lana Rhodes guy too at training camp.
Yes, he should be. She likes him big and she likes him chunky.
Right. So there's a lot of hype, excitement going into the season about him, and I mean, we're gonna forget that first game against Miami. Damian Harris screwed that one up at the end.
Do you remember Mac Jones' first throw or first drop back in his career? By the way, you remember the little dipsy do he did when he turned around and threw the ball behind him?
Yeah.
Anyways, keep going. Okay, yeah. So sorry.
I was there. I saw that whole game. Overall, I mean, he started off okay, had a little bit of a rough stretch during the losing streak, and then once they got winning, it's like, all right, he improved each week. Kind of cooled down towards the end of the season, which as a rookie, don't want to do that. So it's like I'm right where Diego is. I want to see what year 2 looks like with him. It is good. He is getting playoff experience as a rookie, especially road playoff experience too. Granted, Buffalo, not a normal place to go play at with that environment. That is not an ideal place to go play at.
Very dark too. They only have 6 lights in their stadium. Yeah. Did you guys see the picture? They have 6 stadium lights. That's it. And they're dark as shit. I'm sorry. Keep going. It's just it is a dark place
to vacation either. I don't
dark
know.
Stadium.
I didn't know that. But if I were to give a letter grade, because I know Liam, you're a big fan of letters, apparently.
Right, I am. I prefer the letter.
Big letter guys.
I'm gonna say C plus, just because I'm not really sold on him yet. That's the
what
thing.
do you mean? Okay,
I'm not.
What do you mean you're not sold on Mac Jones?
I want to see year 2. I want to see what he does in year 2 before I decide. Okay, is he the future or is he just?
So you don't like a movie because you haven't seen the sequel? What are you talking about?
I want to see.
Why don't you like it? No.
To an athlete.
Hey.
I can compare.
I too said the same exact thing. I too
you
did say the same.
You didn't say it like, oh, then I asked both of you. I must have missed when you said it.
I did say I wasn't sold on him just yet.
Why aren't you guys sold on him?
No, but
why aren't you sold on him?
I want to see
I understand Diego's point.
That's not a good answer.
That's a great answer.
That's not a good answer. So you see all these great things and some bad things because he's a rookie, and then it's like, I got to see the second year. Hogwash.
So for me,
hogwash.
After Patty Mahomes threw 50 tubs in his first season, were you like, let's see what he does next season?
Probably, I'm sure.
Honestly, I was.
I think it's an unfair comparison.
Patty Mahomes is washed, by the way.
Well, here's the thing. How can you?
With
Mahomes,
I got the glasses on. We're going on now.
The faded shades.
Well, with Mahomes, for example, let's see how I want to see how does he follow up with 50 touchdowns? He was the MVP that year too, right? He was
damn right he was.
MVP. Did they win the Super Bowl?
Look at how
was that the Super Bowl year for them?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Look at how
they won the Super Bowl. He throws 50 touchdowns and he's the MVP. Let's see what happens.
It's an unfair comparison too. Look at how stacked the Chiefs team was. He was built for success.
But Alex Smith couldn't do it with that same team. And I love Alex Smith.
Alex Smith was also going through injuries too at that point. He was starting to get old.
He was getting older, but he's still very capable.
The ultimate tipping point for Alex was unfortunately that leg injury.
Yeah, but that was on the Skins. That wasn't on the Chiefs.
I know, but still, even after
they got rid of Alex Smith when he was firmly capable. In fact,
listen,
me being the idiot I am, I would have kept Alex Smith. I love Alex Smith,
and I would have loved him to be a backup quarterback in the Patriots. To be quite frankly honest, that was a dream of mine.
So why do you hate Mac Jones, you guys?
I don't hate Mac Jones. I did just say to you, my explanation as to why I'm sticking to a B, maybe even B minus, is there is a lot of room professionally for him to do on. He needs to develop that control, that pressure control mindset. He needs to be laser focused in those situations, which he's not. He gets distracted easily when the moments that count the most are needed to be driven. Those are things that you look for in every quarterback. And I would say the same exact thing if this was Trevor Lawrence, if this was Zach Wilson, if this was Trey Lance, if this had been Joe Burrow, I would have said the same exact thing. It doesn't matter because it's Mac Jones and because he's replacing after Cam Newton. I wouldn't care who he's replacing. He could be replacing Tom fucking Brady for all I give a shit. It's just that needs to be developed. If he's not going to be able to control situations where he's in pressure, and he needs to be the leader because he's the quarterback of the team and be able to deliver results. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but he's just not yet fully developed. He's not that A+ quarterback.
What I just want to know. Let me simplify.
I'm not asking for you to be a.
That's why I'm looking forward to year 2. I'm looking forward to what he's got to develop. And if year 3, he's at that point where he's like, holy shit, what a quarterback. Phenomenal. But in year 2, we've noticed this with a lot of players. A lot of them hit that sophomore slump. I don't expect Jamar Chase to be excellent next year. I don't expect Jalen Waddle to be like, oh my God, Miami's ultimate fucking warrior. I don't expect Devontae Smith to be like, oh my God, the biggest fucking.
Well, he's the greatest receiver. Right?
Well, he's on the Eagles, so he's gonna get fucked. So
no, he's fantastic.
It's just
so Mike. If I hate Mac Jones, why do I own this?
Well, that's the thing. Like
because you probably want to burn it. That's why you probably bought it specifically so you can burn it when he gets sent away. But I think well, Liam, what were you gonna say? Because you were gonna simplify or whatever.
I just want to simplify Mike's point here. In the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, the Green Goblin is holding a school bus of children and Mary Jane Watson, both on cables, and he lets them both go and make Spider-Man choose. Say instead of the kids and Mary Jane, we replace it with Mac Jones and Jarrett Stidham. I just want to ask who you would pick and why would it be Jarrett Stidham?
I swear to fucking God. I'm going to kill you. Why would it be Jarrett Stidham?
Because he's the other quarterback. I don't know. We could put Brian Hoyer if you'd rather.
You can put anybody. You can put Tom Brady, and I still wouldn't want him. You know why? Well, first of all, he's old. Going for the future, I want Mac Jones.
Yeah, he's
but okay. Liam, I love the analogy because I do love Spider-Man. But my thing is, it's like you can't like. I'm asking you right now if you're bought in on him. You can't kind of push it to the past because guess what? He's going to be with the team for the next 4 or 5 years, most likely. So it's like because he's on his rookie deal. So are you bought in on him in the sense that you think that he could be the Patriots quarterback for the next 10, 15 years? I think that's kind of more the question.
Because Diego said he could see him gone at 5. What do we think? Because
basically what you guys are saying,
his whole career.
I get with the whole like there might be the sophomore slump or everything, but you can't go into a player being like, oh, he might suck the next year. Like no, with everything you've seen, are you bought in? Are you ready to ride with Mac Jones? Whatever that means to you, make it mean whatever it means. To me, I'm ready to see Mac Jones for the next 10, 15 years because I think he's going to progress. He's a rookie, so of course he made rookie mistakes. He's the best rookie, bar none, of any of the rookies drafted right now.
Yeah, but he's the best of the worst. The other ones are pretty shitty.
Very clearly.
That's not fair to no. That's not fair to say. Look at Mac and look at the other rookie quarterbacks. All of them suck except for Mac.
That's what I just said. He's the best of the worst.
Exactly.
Makes him look better.
Exactly.
Makes him look better.
Like
exactly.
this was an overhyped like class coming into the season, quarterbacks wise, and only one of them prevailed. Granted,
apparently it was.
Granted, Trevor Lawrence went to Jacksonville. Jacksonville is
Trevor Lawrence would suck if he was on the Chiefs. Relax.
No, I don't think so. I hate to tell you that, but I disagree with you
Trevor
there.
Lawrence, touchdown, Jesus.
Urban Meyer is not a quarterback coach whatsoever. He can barely keep his hands to himself, nevertheless be able
not
to
a head coach anymore
somebody's life.
Yeah. No, it's all their quarterback. He's not it. He's fool's gold. Instead of touchdown, Jesus,
it's the hair. The hair gets him. The hair. It tricks everybody. Maddie, by the way, so I don't think you finished your point. Are you sold? Are you not sold? What's going on? What do you grade him? What'd you say? You gave him an F?
Is he a good quarterback? Yeah, he's a good quarterback. Am I sold on him for the future for the next, like 10, 15 years, Mike, that you're saying? Not yet. I want to see what he does in year
Bananas.
Shut up. Shut up, Mike.
In pajamas.
If he has a down year in year 2, I'm saying if, not when, Mike, before you even attempt to twist my words there. If he has a down year in year 2, which I'm not going to say he is or not, but if he does, what does year 3 look like? What does year 4 look like?
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way too.
I'm not a genius,
and I'm completely fine.
You can't give a fair judgment off of a player in one season because let's say, for example, I know this is completely different, but Julio's first year in Tennessee, we were all expecting big things out of him with the Titans this year. The dude did jack shit with the Titans this year. Got his first touchdown last week, for Christ's sake.
I mean,
that's not the same thing though, because we haven't
off of this one season with Tennessee. We're also
no, you're right.
Tennessee.
You're right.
You're
right. It's an unfair comparison too, comparing the fact that Julio is an established wide receiver versus somebody who's just barely in the NFL.
I'm asking you to make the judgment. I'm asking you to make the judgment though. If you what you've seen,
he said C-. That was it. C+.
Hogwash. Yeah. Hogwash.
All right, Liam, so let's move on to Liam.
Liam, you go.
Okay.
Bonkers.
Well, the last time I checked,
Cam Newton A+, by the way. But, let's keep going.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones.
Cam Newton sucks, guys. Get it through your head. Cam
Jones
Newton is
is
not
no
a good
Cam
quarterback.
He's no Cam Newton.
Yeah, I know. He's better.
I'm
He's
giving
better.
him an F. No, I'm giving him an F. No.
Who? Oh, buddy. Did you see? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go.
I was ready for Mike to kick me out.
I almost died.
There's that kid again, by the way, Mike.
No, don't, because I'm gonna get
Hey,
scared.
look, bitch.
I'm gonna get scared. It's like have you guys ever seen The Strangers when what's your name is on the phone?
Actually, this time.
You know, I can see it in the camera when someone when what's your name is on the phone and the dude from The Strangers is walking behind her. Yeah. Terrifying movie. I'm sorry, Liam. What are you gonna do?
You gotta listen to the actual story The Strangers is based on. It's actually pretty fucking wild, but not the point. So if I'm sitting down being objective here and I'm thinking realistically, Mac Jones, like we said, I think his play looked a lot better because everyone else played pretty ass. Like Trevor Lawrence, unimpressive. Trey Lance didn't really get the shot. Justin Fields, mixture of didn't get the shot. And then when he did, like the offense wasn't exactly in his favor, but I don't think he was spectacular either. I think in the end, I'm giving Mac an A-. He was a truly poised quarterback who went out there and won big games. He led many blowouts for a team that hasn't put up this many 50-point games since the 2008 season, but a lot of it was relied on Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson in the run game. He had a lot of help on other factors. Once he got comfortable and settled in is when I really think it bumps him up to where I have him as an A-. If we graded this after week 5, I would say he's a C+ quarterback, but he really figured it out in the middle of the season and he started to uncork the long ball, which was my biggest criticism. Excuse me. That was a beer burp. I think he is the perfect quarterback for this system. And I do believe he's going to be here for the long haul. He's a franchise quarterback. We're not letting him go. Even next year, if he has a sophomore slump, which I don't believe he will, because it's the same system around him this time. A system like the Patriots is going to allow just about any quarterback to succeed. Sam Darnold would be putting up similar numbers in the system that Mac Jones did. He has a great cast around him. So Mac Jones did the best of his ability, but he was mostly helped out by the team. I'm going to give him an A- because he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't fuck too many things up. The worst game he had interceptions wise was a 2-pick game, which I'll take that. With a rookie, I'm expecting like Jay Cutler, 4 picks to D'Angelo Hall type numbers with a rookie. That's normally what I'm expecting. Because hey, rookies are going to have their tough games. What did Zach Wilson throw 4 picks 3 times or something like that? Like that's what I expect from a rookie. It's tough to make it in the league nowadays. So he had a lot of help. I'm giving him an A-, but I'm grading on a curve here because he was helped out by a fantastic team. I don't think he's a stellar guy who could have made it on every team. If the Bears drafted him, he probably would have been ass. If the 49ers drafted him, he probably wouldn't have got the chance. If the Jaguars drafted him, he would have been fucking terrible, just like Trevor Lawrence. I just think he landed in the right situation. And he's not this ultra most talented quarterback. He's sneaky athletic when he runs outside the pocket and gets a first down. He's got a decent arm, can make all the throws on the field, but he's not going to blow you away with an 80-yard bomb. But he can get it deep to Kendrick Bourne to tie up the game against the Cowboys. Like he can make the plays necessary, but he's not going to wow you. I like what I've seen, but I'm not in love with it. I'm going to give him an A- grading on a curve. And by curve, I mean Mike's 6-inch curve.
So thank you for bringing that up. Second, I guess I'll go. Would you give him an A-, Liam? That's what you said, right?
I did.
A-. I'm gonna go with an A-.
Where'd you
don't even care. Don't even care that it's just us. Hope they don't come back. I think personally, man, I think that it is a I'm gonna go A-. You know why?
What are you fucks laughing at?
We just wanted to pull a prank on Mike. That's all. But he got carried away. That's fine.
You guys.
God damn it! We're in the middle of a show.
You guys will hear. Yeah. No. So in case anybody's wondering, Matty B. Diego just dipped for some reason, probably because they can't handle the truth that Mac Jones is the future. So Mac Jones, I am going to say, I'm going to say, you guys aren't sold on him, and it baffles me. I am going to say, Liam, I agree with you. It's going to be boring, but A-. Reason being, everything coming in. what did we all think? We were all like, if Cam Newton starts, hopefully everything goes well. Second year in the system, great. Mac Jones started, so it was like, okay, let's just hope we get a winning season. Let's just hope he progresses, all that stuff. Nobody thought that Mac Jones was going to be bringing this team to the playoffs. Nobody actually thought that. Granted, did I say that? Probably, but that's just my homerism coming. I mean, I'm wearing Patriots sunglasses right now, so I mean, come on. But Mac Jones, I mean, he had, I think, one of the best rookie seasons, some of his stats like ever in like the history of rookie quarterbacks. I think he has like the 8th or 9th completion percentage right now. He has more yards than players like Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, say what you want about him. He has more yards than players like Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz, who Liam loves.
And walk it to him.
And, again, he did all this with people who, people on his offense who were kind of like, oh, he got Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar. That's not, why did Bill go and get them? Well, Jacoby Myers had 800 and something yards receiving this year. I mean, Hunter Henry, by the way, kicking ass. Jonnu Smith, he'll come out next year.
Hunter Henry is the man.
Love Hunter Henry.
Convinced. Like leading the league for tight end touchdowns more than I ever could have expected. I knew
he's at like 9.
I thought Jonnu Smith would be the red zone guy. Hunter Henry would be the yards guy. I was completely wrong. Jonnu Smith,
vice versa.
The blocker. Yeah. It's ridiculous. He's not even the yards guy. But
so I think So I am sold on him, and I'm not saying that he's going to be the greatest quarterback ever. When I say that I'm sold on him, what I mean is that I'm comfortable with him being the starting quarterback for the next 10 or 15 years. Meaning that what he's doing right now, Matty B, you brought up the sophomore slump, definitely a real thing. With any position, really. But the reason I don't think that's going to happen is because right now, I don't think we're seeing Mac play to his potential in the offense. What Mac's doing right now, he's not doing anything crazy that can't be duplicated. It's not like he's relying on his skills.
Not athletic or anything.
He's not relying on Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, his career is pretty much done. Guarantee you, he'll have one more good year and he's going to be nothing. Hot take, but he's injured like a mofo now. It's just the way that Lamar Jackson plays, or those running quarterbacks play. They put their bodies in risk.
I'm intrigued, and this isn't to like, to like confront you or anything about, but I'm intrigued, and you're honest.
You confront me all you want. I don't care. I got sunglasses on.
Oh no, trust me, I'm not shy from confrontation.
God damn it.
I am the least person shy from confrontation. So if I want to confront you, I would.
You don't want Diego confronting you. Trust me. It's
trust me. I saw his butthole.
You did not.
It wasn't pretty.
I will say
you don't want me confronting you. I think you don't want me confronting you. I'm sorry, Diego. What's up?
Would you be saying the same exact thing about Dak Prescott then?
Obviously,
I don't even understand the question. Why would I? What do you mean?
It's in
like
English,
if he was
so
if he was on. I don't understand. What I be saying
on the Patriots?
No. So you said what you just said about Lamar Jackson, how he's so injury prone because he just had this injury that he's been dealing with.
Yeah.
Would you be saying the same exact thing about Dak Prescott then after the injury that he had?
No, they're different.
I mean, they're different injuries. Dak Prescott hasn't missed the last
3 or 4
games.
Dak doesn't run nearly as much. Dak isn't good either. Dak isn't good either. He's bad. But he's been bad for a while.
Liam hates Dak, so Diego, just talk to me because Liam hates
the injury that Dak had though.
I mean, I would take a youth football quarterback over Dak.
Okay, Diego, proceed.
Can you recreate Dak's injury for us again?
Liam,
hold on, let me break my foot.
I think if I read something correctly, you wanted to get a show, right? So I'm just giving you the show here just because I know I have to train you guys correctly. Seeing the injury that Dak Prescott had, I mean, that's far more prone to the next opportunity being the unfortunate next situation, not next opportunity, to being something like a torn ACL, torn meniscus, torn MCL, hamstrings being blown, or, potentially another, ankle dislocation on his other foot because he's compromised so much.
Yeah.
While with Lamar, I get the injuries that he's had. They're two completely different injuries. I get it. I'm just curious generally, and genuinely, would you be saying the same exact thing about
they're
that?
different quarterbacks. Lamar's running 10 times a game, flat out, no doubt, bar none. He's not running any less than 10 times.
Okay, so that's fair. So let's just say Dak and Lamar are in two very similar teams.
So
the
metaphorically they run Dak 10 times a game. Is that what you're saying? Like if we put them in the same offense?
Yeah, like if the Cowboys use more of their running game with Dak, would you be saying the same exact thing about Dak over Lamar? Would you say that his career is probably going to be done?
Yeah, if Dak Prescott, so say the same situation that happened with Lamar Jackson happened with Dak Prescott, got hurt, missed the last 3 or 4 games on the way to a playoff run. Yeah, I'd be saying the same thing. I don't think. Yeah, of course I would be. Yeah, there's no reason why I wouldn't be. It has nothing to do with that. I also though what makes me say that more about Lamar Jackson, I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a really good, talented running quarterback. He's not a good thrower of the football in my eyes. When he has his legs, he is as dynamic as anybody out there. He can run. He'll keep defenses honest because they got to watch out for the run. But the second that skill, that elusive running kind of starts to dwindle, he's going to be gone like that. Because I don't think that he can sit there and beat you going up and down the field. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't like Mahomes, but I know that he can, Mahomes at least can do that, or your other quarterbacks and kind of Rodgers, Brady, those type of quarterbacks who can beat you without running the ball strictly. I think Lamar Jackson's main weapon is his legs. And I think that that's pretty much going to be gone by midway through next year.
Well, it's the RG3 effect. Anyone who runs that much, you get bundied. Like everyone in our generation, our go-to example is RG3. We saw what happened. We see what happens when you run quarterbacks that much. And now that's kind of like the standard. It's like slide, get out of bounds, avoid contact, or you're going to end up like RG3. He's the worst case. He's the bottom bar. So don't end up like RG3.
Pretty much.
RG3 also didn't take care of his conditioning at all.
Not at all.
That I will give Lamar. That's something I will give Lamar a lot of respect for because that guy has been working his ass off to come back.
Gets out of bounds, and he doesn't slide to save his life.
The only other thing that I will say about Lamar too, though, is he's got that instinct to be a game changer, which is something that you also always want to look at.
Was RG3 not?
He was
when he was healthy.
He was. I hate the Redskins. He was sick.
What I will say about that comparison is, while he had that instinct,
that sounds racist. Sorry. No, me. What I said I hate the Redskins. I'm talking about the football team.
Lamar Jackson has the instinct.
Yeah, what I will say in that instinct is that Lamar, he has that mentality, right, to quickly change the game. Meanwhile, for RG3, while he had the mentality, there was also a lot of stupidity behind it as well. He would just go with emotion rather than actually read the field, which is something Lamar's actually really good at. Reading the field and realizing, okay, if I need to take a risk, I need to take a run and get hit, probably get smoked by one of these tractor trailers coming at me, he'll take it. Meanwhile, for RG3, it was more like, oh, I can run it, I can just throw it and then get picked off.
Yeah, but like that was the problem was RG3 also was like, I'll just take this body. And like he would catch fat bodies past the line of scrimmage. And then that's what ended his career early. I think Lamar's a little more shifty. Lamar's a big play guy. He'll make more guys miss than RG3 will. He gets out of bounds. I think it's marginal, but basically they suffer the same fate. I don't agree with Mike. I don't think he's going to be a bad quarterback. I think he's going to be.
I don't agree with that. I
think Mike's smoking that Matty B pack, but like, I think Lamar has long-term success still. He doesn't slide.
3 years he's out. 3 years
he gets out of bounds. Yeah. I mean, they run him a lot, a disgusting amount.
That's the reason why, because like I said, I think that this wasn't even about him. I wanted to still just finish my Mac Jones thing. But yeah, with Lamar Jackson, I just think that just the Ravens run him and not even run him because he decides to run because he's so good at it. But I think all it takes is one hit, he's done. And the fact that he runs so much, I think he's going to be done. I would say the same thing about Dak too. I mean, shit. But yeah, going back to, I don't know why. Diego, I want to ask why'd you ask me to compare Lamar Jackson and Dak? Just curiosity.
I said it. Yeah, I just said it out of curiosity.
Yeah,
not because he's a hater or anything. I just didn't.
I mean, I hate everybody who's not a Patriot. So yeah,
so
I mean, so anyways, going back to the only good quarterback in this conversation we've talked about, Mac Jones. I think that I am definitely sold on him coming in. I knew nothing about him because I don't watch
on Mac that there is cream on any.
I don't watch college football. Well, I mean, the dude threw for just over 3,800 yards. I mean, he had the 8th best completion percentage. He's got his team in the playoffs. He's a rookie quarterback. I think that's pretty good. I don't know, but I'm ready. Like Maddie said, I'm ready to see him in year 2, year 3, year 4, all that stuff. but I'm definitely sold on him. I mean, I'm ready for him. I'm comfortable with him taking the field. It got to the point this year, and Liam, you and I talked about it. When he started making mistakes, it was shocking when he would make mistakes. I think that is proof positive that he's done what he needed to do this year. He made you forget he was a rookie, which I think that's not something that you can really quantify, but it's just something that, not a lot of rookie quarterbacks do. Not a lot of rookie players do, to be honest. And yeah, sure. The last couple of games, has he made his mistakes? Of course he has. Yeah. He's made some dumb mistakes. He's made some dumb picks, dumb plays, but the thing you see with him, it never shatters his confidence. It never gets him down or anything like that. So I think that's something really good. There's people outside my window. I think that's really good for Mac Jones, that it seems like his confidence is unwavering. That's what every one of the players say. Bill Belichick said he's the most impressive rookie that he's seen. So yeah, I'm very much sold on Mac Jones. I don't know how anybody couldn't beat, because yeah, sure, he's had some rough patches. Normal quarterbacks have rough patches too. So yeah, I'm ready for Mac to kind of, lead the Patriots the next 10, 15 years, however long he wants to stay. So yeah, I give him an A- on the year. I give him an A-.
I'm in it with you there. I mean, he is the future, regardless of if you like it or not.
Yeah. So Matty B, Diego, I just want to keep you guys for another question. Because you guys, Liam actually brought up the Mac Jones question, which was awesome. That's actually what I wanted to ask you guys. Secondly, Patriots going to the playoffs right now. They're obviously playing the Bills round 3 between those division rivals. Going into the playoffs, whichever one of you two want to start, what do you think is the biggest, the biggest negative or the biggest thing that you have to worry about with this Patriots team moving forward that might hold them back in the playoffs?
I would say our playbook. We're not creative enough.
Define creative.
Elaborate, because I agree to some extent. And I know, Diego, you think I don't agree with anything you say, but I do agree with you to some extent on this.
I mean, statistically, you haven't. So
you agree. We had the same thought that the Patriots were going to go. And actually, one thing, Diego and I both thought the Patriots were going to go 12-5 here. Maddie, I don't remember what you said. Liam, I want to give you a shout out. Liam said the Patriots would go 10-7. He said that Mac would have about 22 touchdowns. He'd have
22 to 24.
And then you said 12 to 14 picks, right? That's what you said, I believe. Mac Jones, they went 10-7. Exactly what Liam said. Mac Jones had 22 touchdowns and 13 picks. So Liam, I did just want to give you your flowers on that one, man. Good pick. But Diego, you say that the playbook is not creative enough. What do you mean? Like running, passing? What do you think? What do you mean? Just overall?
I think our passing game is not extended enough. We're not, like I've said all season long, our tight ends are not fully utilized. When it comes to the down the field plays, we don't elaborate correctly on those. We tend to go more towards the short passing game than anything else, more than towards the check down, rather than fully try to gain the yardage, especially
against
teams.
Did you say that when Tom Brady was the quarterback?
No one said that when Tom Brady was the quarterback.
Because you know what? Tom Brady was always challenging Josh McDaniels to be far more creative, which is something that I want to see more.
But it was still a short passing game.
Well, Mac Jones is a rookie. Hold on. First of all, I heard you say that before. You want Mac Jones to challenge Josh McDaniels. He's a rookie.
Because he should.
But he's a rookie. Where the hell does he stand to challenge the offensive coordinator?
I get it that he's a rookie.
That dude who's won nothing, saying it to a guy who's won 5
get the fuck out of here.
I get that and all, but if you are relying on Brian Hoyer, right, to be your guy that teaches you the playbook and helps you expand and all that stuff, take that to your advantage. Because if Josh McDaniels has been here for as long as he's been, so has basically Brian Hoyer. Take that to the bank and fucking challenge him. Because once you turn that aspect around on Josh, it pushes him to be far better. It's the same when Tom, after year 2, when Tom started to get into the arguments with Josh of like, fuck are we doing with this play? I mean, he was nobody after, when Drew Bledsoe was here. When Drew Bledsoe was healthy, he was just like, that's just a backup quarterback.
He was just a backup, yeah.
Right? Yeah. But then Tom took his creativity to the next level and really challenged Josh to fully develop that playbook. And that's where I want to see some of the creativity from Mac as well, because the guy, I feel like Mac has a lot of creativity that if we really let him dig deep into that, we could see
what creativity do you want to see?
we could see a lot of stuff that we haven't seen just yet. These
do you have
kids,
examples?
A lot of these kids.
No,
hang on. A lot of these kids from college that have come out, like Joe Burrow, for example, that playbook in Cincinnati was not developed enough, and you know that. It showed.
I mean, it's definitely to a full extent. But I think it's far less creative than the Patriots playbook. I mean, we run trick play city in here. How many times are we given it?
Because Liam was complaining about it earlier this year. They were running so many trick plays.
I said it's too creative. Dumb it down.
I don't know. I want to see a lot more criteria. I want to see a lot more usage of our tight ends. I mean, we have two really good fucking tight ends in the league.
The two best. So I'll agree with you on that, Diego. The two best tight ends that were available, the Patriots got. So I think with Jonnu Smith, though, it seems like he's just one of those players that's taken a little bit longer to grasp everything. At least that's kind of like the gist of it.
I think wrong. I think that for Jonnu, he's been utilized more for the physicality aspect because he's able to close down on that gap.
He can block and everything. Yep.
Right. But I mean, if we really went on another route where one of the tight ends was more of a versatile tight end, let's say, he could be used as both as a wide receiver and as a tight end, then technically you can squeeze him into that slot where Jonnu Smith really is and really put Jonnu back into that tight end position where he's a dual threat just as much as Hunter Henry is. And we're not using that. We're not.
I agree. I think that, you see it when Jonnu Smith gets it. Yeah, I mean, you see when Jonnu Smith gets the jet sweeps. I mean, Jonnu Smith should be utilized more. I get what you're saying.
I think that.
And I think for me personally, like once Josh is so settled on his running game, like, it worked. It worked at one time with the Bills. Like, we ran the ball 40, whatever, many times.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It's worked a lot more than one time. They're one of the best running teams.
That's the
ridiculous. That was a wild game, though. That was a wild game.
But that was overutilized. That was overutilized, though. Like you already punted the living crap out of them. Why didn't you go ahead and explore what your passing game would look like against a top?
We were all saying that. Yeah, no, we were all saying that. I think.
So it's just that. For me, it's just that. I think for us in this third round, we really need to bring something that's unpredictable to the Bills. Mm-hmm. And that's where my concern is. I wonder what Josh will be able to develop with Mac. And that's my concern. Because the Bills already know that if the Patriots want to run the game, they need to be physical there. So we're going to be shut down there. They have a good defense. If they want to be short passing, they're going to be able to lock us down in that aspect as well. They're going to be able to shut down Hunter. Would they be able to shut him down completely? No, I don't think they will because of Hunter's versatility. But again, it's just more of that. Like, what trickery can you bring into this playoff game against the Bills that they are not accustomed to deal with?
I mean, you got to take away something. As a defense, it's always got to be like you take away, and Bill Belichick preaches it. They basically play different schemes and styles each week, depending on who they play and what they're good and bad at their opponent.
Yep.
So it's like,
this is one of the best teams to analyze the tape in the NFL. Oh, absolutely. One of the best teams in the NFL to analyze.
And I'm sure the Bills are like, we're going to stop the run game and force Mac to pass. So it's like, then they're focused on the run. So then it's like, all right, what's the next thing we're going to stop? And that gets less of the focus, but they're certainly going to try. I would imagine that would be, like you said, the short passing game. Mm-hmm. I don't think they'll be able to completely stop that because the short passing game is one of the most unstoppable things in the league. It's also one of the most dangerous because you pass at a higher volume, which gives more opportunity for mistakes, which is one of the big criticisms I had with Mike early in the season. And then they're going to be like, if they throw it deep on us, then so be it. If fucking Nelson Aguilar and Kendrick Bourne both have 120 yards receiving and 2 deep touchdowns and we lose, then, goddamn, we tried. So they're going to go to what the Patriots don't do often, and they'll basically let that one go. I don't think it's going to be, I think it's mostly going to be short passing game, and they're going to stop the run and force Mac to pass. So this is going to be a big passing game for Mac, in my opinion. He didn't look great against the Bills. There was a tipped interception against the Bills, so he had 2 picks. One of them wasn't his fault. It's just one of those things where it's like, we got to see if he can, part 3 here. In part 1, you didn't pass. Part 2, you passed, didn't look great. Part 3, now you got to pass and look good if we're going to win this game.
Yeah. So, I mean, for concerns wise, like I said, just a playbook.
Just the playbook. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think, they got to figure something out. It seems like some games McDaniels just gets away from what does well. Matty B, what,
how do I follow that up?
I don't know. Actually, the only thing I'm going to say to Diego, if Mac Jones like stepped to Josh McDaniels and kind of like, rebuted some plays and all that stuff, that would piss me off. I'd be like, dude, you're a rookie. Sit the fuck down. That's what I would say. Because
I don't know if it would piss me off. I think it would lit a fire personally.
I don't think so. Because when Brady was doing that with Charlie Weiss, I don't even think that was his second.
I mean, that was also overboard though. That was also overboard.
I don't know. I think the way I see it,
on that.
The way I see it, you're a rookie. Sit down, do everything. Obviously, you're not going to call the plays.
That's what it takes to be great, to push buttons.
Yeah, but your rookie
sometimes
year,
that's what it does. Yeah.
Nah, not your rookie year. But I mean, again, either way, though, I still agree. The playbook, McDaniels can't get into his normal bullshit with the playbook. So that's pretty much, I agree with that. Maddie,
we run it on 3rd and long. I'm going to kill myself. I'll say
that. And don't go 5 wide on 3rd and 1.
And like I said, utilize Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer is supposed to be mentoring you on the playbook. Fine, then mentor me too as to how I challenge Josh onto create. Yeah,
but Brian Hoyer doesn't know how to challenge Josh McDaniels. Brian Hoyer doesn't even know how to challenge for the starting position.
I'm just saying. Brian Hoyer is supposed to be that mentor. Fucking step up and be that mentor. That's all.
No, that's what he's doing. Brian Hoyer has nothing to do with Mac.
Dude's got a lifetime contract with the Patriots.
Yeah, which I don't mind. It is what it is. Hey, Maddie, I'm sorry. I've false started you 3 times. Maddie, you go. You go.
I mean, a concern for me, and I'm not nitpicking Mac here, but like this is his first playoff experience, and it's on the road, and it's in Buffalo. That's a negative to me, just because. The four of us know here, playoff football, completely different animal from what he just went through.
It is.
You're literally fighting for your season. And, Mac really throughout his career has never really had to fight for like his season before. This is the first time he's ever really doing that. Oh, Mike walked away. She didn't.
No, he's just grabbing a beer. Anyway.
I guess that's really like the main thing for me is it's the one thing that I'm worried about is just, the lack of playoff experience at the quarterback position.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Mm-hmm. But let me present to you the quarterback who has got the closest to a Super Bowl in his rookie year was Ben Roethlisberger, made it to the conference championship game against the Patriots. He did throw 4 picks in the conference championship game and they lost. That's a rookie quarterback's never been to the Super Bowl. So I understand the concern. It's brutal. It's going to be a completely different game for him. Do you think he's going to be overwhelmed, or do you think it's just going to be another loss like we see in the last Buffalo game where it's like he played fine, but he didn't play good enough to win? Or do you think he's going to be flat out like stunned?
I'm not going to say he's like going to be like flat out stunned or anything. I don't know if he'd be like overwhelmed either. It's just maybe that little bit, just because this Bills team literally went through the song and dance last year with the playoffs. They made it all the way to the AFC title game and almost. And the Chiefs did what
blew
the Chiefs
them
did.
up.
Yeah, exactly. But that's just my concern. How does Mac do on the road in that kind of environment too? Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have seen the weather for that game coming up this Saturday night. The highest that entire day in Buffalo, I forget what the actual town is called where the stadium is at, but it's supposed to be 9 degrees. That's the highest.
Snow, baby. It's going to be snow. Did you see that? You see that on the forecast?
Oh, I saw Mike. Mike, I saw snow.
Liam, what did I tell you? Whenever it snows, I'm picking the Patriots no matter what. Snow games, picking the Patriots.
Snow and wind. Let's just see what Mac does.
Josh Allen. 12 slugs to your chest. Sit down.
Mike, I don't know if you heard what my one concern was just,
I heard. I got my, I heard. I agree. I mean, dude, you're going on the road against a good team as much as I talk shit about the Bills. No, you're going on the road against a good team. They play well at home. It's going to be, the conditions are going to be, shitty, obviously. So it's going to be a big test.
I just still have another one too.
Yeah. Throw it out. What's up?
Isaiah McKenzie, let's not let that happen again.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
But now they're gonna have COVID Beasley. They're gonna have Gabriel Davis. Obviously, Nate Diggs is gonna be around. And now you got and Isaiah McKenzie, who just ripped up the Patriots. That's a let. Let's make sure we don't give up any big plays to the Buffalo receivers because they can all take advantage of the long ball. And they can all take advantage of being in the open field. Don't let anyone too open.
Yeah, I mean,
Isaiah McKenzie definitely ripped our asses with
if it's snowing. If it's snowing, Isaiah McKenzie won't be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be very cold. I think there's like a 50 or 60% chance of snow. So that's going to be interesting.
So like half and half roughly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if it's snowing though, I'm going to pick the Patriots 100%. I just can't. Whenever it's snowing, I always do. And also because I think the Patriots are the better running team.
Yeah. So with that being said, look into your crystal balls here, boys. This is the culminating question here, and then we set you guys free. How far does this Patriots team go? Does it end in Orchard Park, or do they proceed into the Super Bowl?
And remember, they have Mac Jones, the quarterback that you guys do not like.
Yes.
So let me know.
I like Mac for the 100th time. I'll start here. What do you want? Do you want like an actual score prediction or just
No, tell me
how far you think they go.
Do they lose on Saturday?
I'll be honest. I think this is it on Saturday. I don't see us. I don't see us winning at Buffalo.
Why?
I'm sorry.
Faith,
I don't.
No faith. No. Hey, be honest.
Oh no. They're gonna put up a fight. I'm not gonna say Buffalo's gonna blow us out or anything like that. They're gonna put up a fight, but I can see this coming down to like the final drive and Buffalo gets the ball. They go down the field, kick a game-winning field goal. I can see it like that.
Okay. That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, that's not a wild thing to say though. So yeah, I mean,
not. That's a valiant loss.
I'm not going to say Buffalo's going to beat us by like 50 or anything. Like, wow, that's
but
no.
So in the infinite, I would listen to a fair amount of Neil deGrasse Tyson, and there are infinite other realities with infinite other possibilities where everything happened. Like there's an infinite reality where you came on here naked, Matty B, or one where Diego came in here dressed as Abraham Lincoln and grew facial hair. There's infinite
right?
Yes, there's infinite possibilities of anything happening. In all those multiple dimensions and other realities, you can't see the Patriots winning in any one of them.
I mean, alternate reality, man, that's a different thing,
but you don't see the Patriots winning at all.
In this reality, I don't see him making it past Buffalo.
No? Okay. All right. That's what I would ask.
I mean, that's a realistic thing. Diego, what do you think?
If they do make it past Buffalo,
Super Bowl. Oh, it's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl.
I'm not going to say Super Bowl, but I can see AFC Championship.
Okay. So if by some act of God they get past Buffalo,
I can see AFC Championship.
But then that's the cap. That's the ceiling. It doesn't go past the AFC Championship. Mac doesn't break the record for the first quarterback to go to the Super Bowl.
Because I'm playing realistic. I'm thinking realistically here of all the playoff matchups.
No, that's what we're looking for. We're all very realistic.
Because I'm going to take let's play a little what if. Let's say we beat Buffalo.
Okay.
We beat Buffalo, and then everything that's supposed to happen in the AFC happens.
Yes. We
get Tennessee. We can beat Tennessee. Yes, Derrick Henry might be there, but we can beat Tennessee. We already proved it. We already proved it this year that we could spank these guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they still ran for like 200 yards. We still beat them pretty handily. So.
Yep.
And let's say Cincinnati beats Vegas and Kansas City. Well, Kansas City is going to smoke Pittsburgh regardless, no matter what reality.
Pittsburgh is a waste of a playoff spot.
Exactly.
Let's all agree on that.
Shouldn't even be them. Shout out Brandon Staley for being a moron. But
I don't think that was a bad call, but that's
us in Kansas City. Us in Kansas City AFC Championship game going to Arrowhead. That's tough. That's tough.
But the
I don't know.
Chiefs have so many glaring weaknesses.
I know we did it once. I don't know if we can do it again.
Hell,
I love it. I want it.
We almost did it last year with Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer almost got the dub in Arrowhead. How does that happen?
I want it. I want the Chiefs in Arrowhead to go to the Super Bowl. I want it because I think the Patriots are going to beat them, go there. But Diego, Diego, you're up, Matty, Barry. I mean, that makes sense. Insightful. Going on the road against the Bills, who knows what's going to happen. So you think at the max, AFC Championship is their cap, correct?
Yeah. At the max, but I don't see the max even being a possibility. If I'm
Diego, pour some sugar on me.
Diego, all you.
I think there's two very realistic scenarios here. I think number one could be the Patriots. I think that the key to beating the Bills at this upcoming playoff game is having a hot start on the first quarter. If you do that, if you're off to firing off cylinders, you literally take the air away from Highmark Stadium. At that point, the cold comes into place.
Is that the Bill Stadium name? I was wondering.
Yeah, Highmark or something like that.
Highmark.
Yeah,
It's a dumb name.
Yeah.
It is, or
I'm gonna set
benchmark or something
Saturday.
like that. Some stupid basic name. I mean, it's Buffalo. What else can you expect? I'm surprised they even have a society up there.
True. Bunch of cave people.
Yeah, but to begin with, I think if the Patriots start off their first quarter in really Patriots standards, we could win. We could win. Absolutely win. I think if we dick around and wait until the second half to come back, it's going to be a very close and contested game where literally it could come down to a punt being missed. Like
it could come down to anything. Yeah.
Like the extra point being missed. I'm gonna go in the positive direction here, and I think the Patriots can do it. I think the Patriots will do it.
I like it.
There will be challenged to play a different way that they have played before. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't think that we will see the Patriots going up against the Chiefs because the Titans, for some odd reason, have managed to have the number on the Chiefs. So I think the Chiefs run ends in Tennessee.
Bold.
With that being said, I think if we see the Bengals go off against Vegas, I think our run stops at the AFC Championship game because it will probably be us against the Bengals.
And you think the Bengals are going to win?
I think our difficulty.
I mean, it's Joe Burrow, man.
Yeah,
Sorry
but Bill.
I know it's Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Bill against
think,
young quarterbacks. Come on now, serving up on a silver platter. You might as well bring Lombardi in already.
No, see, I disagree with you there because I think our biggest weakness is that cornerback position, and Jamar Chase has been eating away cornerbacks like nothing. And if he's lined up with Jalen Mills, we're fucked. If he gets lined up with Jalen Mills, we're fucked.
He won't be. We're gonna have Mr. INT on him. Why would we put Jalen Mills on the potential rookie?
I also think that Belichick would make Burrow's day a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
he could. He could. I mean, Jamie Collins could just be a fucking nightmare all over Joe Burrow, and I would.
Dude's got more than 6 inches.
But there's a lot of good one.
Just saying, he does.
I haven't clapped so hard since I had sex last.
Why would you clap?
What?
Cheeks.
Oh, okay.
Cheeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Daniel just clapping afterwards, like, "Hey, good job, team. Good job, guys."
Hey,
like he's coming out the tunnel at the Rose Bowl. He's like, "Let's go."
Whoever had the lighting over there, good job. Camera angles, great job, guys. Hey. Sir, get off the bed. We're good to go. Let's go.
Thank you, Manscaped, for the ball grooming. I appreciate it. Thank you, Exogun, for the exercise on my legs. Appreciate it.
And
thank you, Shocked Energy, for the extra pump. Yeah, no, all that.
Extra pump. So you had 3.
Yeah, I'm a one pump chump, of course.
Look at you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
Too.
One and done.
Right. All right. Anyways, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Diego? So you think the Bengals will beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game?
I think with the Bengals we have way too many concerns there, so that could be an issue there. We could shut them down. We'll love that.
Your defense is terrible.
And if we shut them down and we're Super Bowl bound, I'd be fucking going off like crazy, and I would love that for Mac. I would love for him to be able to silence the haters just like that.
Would you love that for Mac though?
I would, absolutely, because there's
so what do you think's going to happen though?
Yeah,
I think realistically, I think I agree with what Maddie said. I think there's way too many variables to be played in the AFC. I think in the AFC the picture's not as clear as it is in the NFC for a Super Bowl contender. So therefore, there's a lot of variables to be played. Can the Patriots do it? Yeah, I mean, if they're able to laser focus and lock down on their game, yeah, they can do it. They could be Super Bowl bound, no questions. They could probably be going on a Super Bowl game against the Packers, if I'm being honest. Which I would love that Super Bowl to happen.
That'd be awesome. I would love.
The last dance of a generation for the Packers. And the first dance of a new generation, of a new birth for the Packers. Like, yeah, why wouldn't I love that storyline? I'd be all over that.
That's kinky.
And listen, I don't know where Mike is getting this belief that I hate Mac Jones, considering that I don't know if you ever watched our Twitch stream when we had the draft. I was actually the very first one that stuck out and said, give this kid a fucking chance before you shut him down. And Maddie was there. Jones,
and now look what happened. Now you're not bought in on him. You think he's a bum in short order.
Nope, I didn't say that wasn't bought in. I'm saying
That's
that
what I heard.
neutral. Nope. Well, you might want to run the tape again on this because I said I'm.
You did say that because then I went at Matty B and I said, "Oh, you're not bought it," and then you said the same thing. You two don't like Mac. It's fine. It's fine. You know why? I think because Mac spelled backwards is Cam, and you guys like him too much.
Nope, nothing to do with that. And I just love that Cam Newton's name just can't seem to get out of your mouth like a big. Well, actually, I can't say that. Rated R.
He left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know what to say.
Well, it happens when you first
Didn't
go black.
leave one in mine.
Shut up, Leo. I'm sorry, Diego. Keep going. Sorry.
No, I'm just staying neutral. I want to see what he can do on year 2. I want to see his growth. If it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. If it happens, phenomenal, great for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it shuts down a lot of narratives. It shuts down the Bill Belichick can't draft narrative, which is by far the stupidest fucking narrative I've ever heard in my life.
Real quick, Diego, I do want to tell you, go check on couchguysports.com. Mike Sullivan, wrote a pretty long article about pretty much destroying the Belichick can't draft narrative because he can draft.
Because I agree. I agree with that. I agreed with that. It shuts down that narrative. It shuts down that, Bill Belichick can't do it without Tom Brady. Like, fuck you. Please grow up. It shuts down a lot of narratives. So again, I'm all for Matt going to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Realistically, I think, I gotta come down off my high horse on Mac, and I gotta realize that the picture in the AFC is just not that clear yet, and that every single one of these teams has a very possible chance. Even the trailer trash Steelers.
Yeah. I think, you know what, before we do let you guys out, I think we can all agree, and I know we said it earlier, the Steelers are just a waste of time.
They are.
No, I don't think so.
Waste of time.
I think the Steelers could win. Steelers could win it all. I've seen crazier things. Steelers could win it all. No, I'm telling you, Big Ben's last year, that's a story for the ages.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So yeah, I mean, so basically, you guys both think so. So Diego, where'd you leave out? What do you actually think is going to happen? You think they're going to get bounced by the Bills?
No, I think we could win it.
So how far do you think
we can, or do you think we will?
Yeah. That's the question.
I said that I will go in the positive route and not say that the Patriots can't get out of this victorious.
Yeah, okay, and then what happens? And then where do they go?
Hold on. If you had to choose a winner for this upcoming Saturday's game,
I'd say the Patriots.
Okay,
I'd say the Patriots, and I'd say that it's a very close contender game, probably a 2-point difference.
Yes, that's what Matty B was saying too. Okay, good. I like that. So then, since you think they get past, then yes.
Then after this, it's Chiefs versus Titans, which the Titans will get through that no problem.
I don't think so.
Hopefully, I would love that.
I would love nothing else for Derrick Henry to just shove it in the ass to the Chiefs.
My homeboy owns the Titans.
It wouldn't be Chiefs.
I seem to recall him having like a 40-yard scramble for a tub to blow them out like 2 years ago.
I think one big factor that you're forgetting, Liam, is that all of a sudden now Julio Jones can produce. And if he's going to go off like this.
Julio hasn't produced in 3 years.
I don't know. I wouldn't sleep on him just yet.
His talent went out the window with their Super Bowl hopes after they blew that lead.
I love that you can talk so much trash, but I'm just being realistic. That's all.
No, 100%. No, but he's a guy.
And listen,
he'll have crazy yards, but no tubs.
That's if the Chiefs don't botch it and the Steelers just completely flop on them.
I don't think it'll happen. But
the Steelers,
I'm going to bet on the Chiefs, but I don't think.
If the Steelers absolutely pull that robbery, I would laugh so hard at Brittany Matthews' face and that fucking marionette that I would just. I'll probably get canceled all over social media.
I hate her.
I hate the whole family. I hate everybody. So
I hate them more than this goddamn pandemic. So I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Jackson Mahomes danced on Sean Taylor's grave. I love Sean Taylor. Don't like that.
I want to step on his balls like grapes. All right. So Diego, Maddie, thank you guys very much for coming on Tuck Rule Takes. Hopefully we have the opportunity to have guests and have you guys on moving forward in the season, which means that the Patriots would win against the Bills this weekend. So yeah, kind of dipping out. Do you guys have anything else to say? Are you guys good to go?
Want to drop your Twitter handles, BHPs or anything?
No, people don't want to follow me. I'm too toxic for that.
Fair enough.
Anyway, Matty B, you got nothing? Go to couchguysports.com. You can take a look at everything that they do, though. They are all over, tons of different podcasts, not just their own, different podcasts, articles, everything you're looking for. Go take a look. They are entertaining on Twitter. So go find them on there. But yeah, other than that, guys, thank you guys very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you later, homies.
Later, boys.
All right, Liam. Buddy, okay, friends, ladies and gentlemen, Tuck Rule Takes has started now. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just get everything out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tuck Rule Takes. I am Mike Sullivan. With me, as always, my Patriots life partner. He's rocking the tank top. He's got the muscles. The traps are out today, guys. Liam McDade, how the fuck are you doing?
Oh, I am living now. I have so much to talk about. We got awards to dish out here.
My friend, we have awards. I do want to say thank you to Diego and Maddie B for coming on. We always like to have guests, so very nice of them to come on, give their opinions, their wrong opinions about Mac Jones. I know that I was kind of irking them a little bit about the Mac Jones stuff. But anyways, though, what Liam and I are here to do, we're here to do two things. We have some end of season awards for you guys. And then I think Liam, if you are, I'm so fired up right now. I think if you are down for it, I think we can maybe even give a little preview for the Bills game if you want. I don't know if that's something that you'd want to going on. I mean, if that's something you'd want to do.
This, I was just going to probably bring a stool into the shower and cry. So
that's fine. Okay. So, okay.
Push that off till later.
That was a wild little guest thing, that we had with Maddie and
Diego. It was something.
Yeah. It was definitely something. I will
wish those jackals would get off their phone, but that's all right.
So that's what I was going to say. I think once you come into the Tuck Rule Takes house, I think we have to put your phones in the basket at the doorway.
Yeah.
If you are going to be on your phones, ladies and gentlemen, completely fine.
You better be pulling up notes.
Make it seem like you're not. That's all.
I went to see Joe Rogan do stand up in Boston. We all had to put our phones in these little cases that locked them in there, and you couldn't use them during the show, and they all magically opened when the show ended. I think we need something like that.
Okay, we will do that from now on. But again, I do want to say thank you to Maddie and Diego. Also, thank you to Shocked Energy. I think Shocked Energy has been with us for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I think. Go to shockedenergy.com, CGSN. You get 10% off that watermelon box that we all like. I don't know what happened. So I ordered Shocked Energy. I think they sent it to the wrong place because my address in Florida does not get things. Yeah. They ship worldwide except to my address. Anybody else that orders it, it will get right to you. Go order it there. We do get a little pat on the back for that. So please go there. CGSN at checkout, 10% off. Liam, end of season awards. Are you ready?
I'm so psyched up. I'm juiced up and I'm sitting in a puddle.
I think we will start at, let's kind of start a little somber. Least valuable player.
See, I think that's a good place to start because if we don't have the same answer here.
There is one obvious pick that I didn't pick.
I mean, you didn't take.
I didn't take him.
Oh, okay.
You go.
I mean, it's clear cut. You had to reach for your other option because you knew this was a given. You knew I was coming to the show saying this name. Only the person that we've bitched about more than the Kardashians have bitched about lost jewelry. That would be N'Keal Reginald Harry out of the Arizona State University. He has been hands down, far and away, the least valuable player. I'm not even going to say my runner-up because it wasn't close. It was only N'Keal Harry. He was the only option from square one. I had to think about all these except for this one. I took one look at this and I was like, no brainer. It's a given. If we had a backup punter, he would still be more valuable than N'Keal Harry. There's really not a whole lot to say. I mean, he's incapable of everything. He can't catch. His footwork's ass. The only thing he can do is block, and that's not what he's supposed to do at his position. Wide receivers, it's fine if you don't block as long as you make big plays. Like DK Metcalf is the only receiver who blocks, and that's because he's a meat house. All the other ones are just out there to catch passes. Hell, Jimmy Graham was a tight end. He didn't even block because he was out there catching passes.
No.
that gets looked aside as long as you can catch passes. Now we're reaching for that as his only strength. No, this guy's terrible. He truly is a detriment to the game. When N'Keal is on the offense in the game, I know bad things are going to happen. He is the curse to this Patriots team. The least valuable player, far and away, it's not close. It's N'Keal Harry. This guy has to be gone. I would give him up for anything. In fact, I would pay money to get rid of him. I would pack his clothes, buy him his plane ticket, and I would hire Secret Service to make sure he gets to his destination. And then, God knows, I'll leave him out in the middle of infinity
and then kill him
forever. Yeah, something. Just get him far away from this team. He's truly atrocious. I could go on all day about how much I hate him, but just the mere mention of it makes my hoo-ha shrivel up.
Yeah, no. So that was going to be my pick, but just I knew you were going to pick it. Like, I mean, let's just be honest. It's the clear choice. The guy is useless. Like, yes, I get that he blocks, but he's do you think, kind of a N'Keal Harry type question, do you think he starts against Buffalo, or do you think Wilkerson does?
I mean, it has to kind of be Wilkerson.
Has to be Wilkerson, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if they give like one more Hail Mary, even though I thought his Hail Mary was the last Bills game when he fucked the whole game up. If they give him one more Hail Mary, I'd be surprised, but I wouldn't be stunned, I guess. But if I'm the coach, this guy's not sniffing the field. He's in the back room with the people who inflate footballs. He's watching this on a TV from the stadium.
Deflate footballs, you mean?
Yes,
deflate
of course.
footballs.
Yeah, deflate. We don't inflate, we deflate.
No,
but yeah, no. So this guy isn't anywhere near the field.
Want to know something funny about N'Keal Harry? N'Keal Harry on his career, 57 receptions, 598 yards, 4 touchdowns. Kendrick Bourne has had a better year this year. Jacoby Myers has had a better year this year. Nelson Aguilar, who didn't even play the whole year, has almost had a better year this season.
Yeah.
He is an embarrassment to the position. He's an embarrassment to the sport. I think Wilkerson has to start. I think N'Keal Harry, that's the pick. So that was going to be my first one. So I agree with you there. So I did have to stretch because I was like, you know what? I know that Liam's going to pick him because we are an anti N'Keal Harry podcast. Least valuable player. I'm going on strictly value. Chase Winovich.
That's a good one.
Least valuable player. Thank you.
He's so irrelevant. He didn't cross my mind. I didn't think of it.
So
wow, that's crazy.
The thing with Chase Winovich, we all saw last year. He had
runner-up. Holy crap.
He had the lot. Who was your runner-up, by the way? If you have more than one, by the way, throw him out because I depending.
I was reaching for my number 2 here because I just thought he was underutilized, but I was going to say Jonnu Smith. Just because of the money. We gave him so much money and all he did was block. So it's like that's why I was going to put him in there because I love the guy and I still think he's going to have that big game in the playoffs.
Hopefully,
but no, hopefully, I truly believe in my heart of hearts in that black hole that pumps blood, tequila, and acid through my veins. That thing believes Jonnu Smith's going to have a good game. But yeah, no, just for the huge contract we gave him. Fuck, he was the first free agent we got. We forked out big bucks for him, and he
was the first free agent, wasn't he? Yeah, shit, I forgot about that. See, he crossed my mind for a couple of these
categories
we got going on, but I just couldn't do it. I think just because I like him too much. So yeah, I put Chase in there. Chase Winovich, we all thought that he was going to be last year, right? He had, the long flowing locks. He looked like Thor out there on the field. He was flying down there. Yeah, sure. He missed his assignment a couple of times, but he was a rookie. It is what it is, right? We all thought he was going to take the next step. He was going to be, the big guy, everything. He missed all of the preseason, some sort of injury. It escapes me what it was, probably a leg injury or something, but he missed all of the preseason. And he has done nothing. There was a stretch where I think it was 3 games, 0 defensive snaps. I think he, from what we thought he was going to be, I thought he was going to be the next Rob Ninkovich. And I think I said this last podcast. I thought he was going to be, kind of like the cult hero, like the cult following, people outside New England knew about him, oh yeah, he's a solid player. People in New England would love him, all that stuff. I think he's gone at the end of the year. I think there's
no reason to keep him.
No reason from what we thought he was going to be, from what he showed last year to this year. strictly least valuable player, he brings zero value to this team. Not his worst as N'Keal Harry.
I reached and found one for N'Keal, which is blocking. Like he has something, and it's not
exactly.
Useful.
But
it's
what does Chase have? What does he have? Nothing. What does Chase Winovich have?
He's so irrelevant. It didn't cross my mind. That's how irrelevant he was.
No, and that's just it. He should be more. And I know he played a lot last game because Hightower was out. He doesn't do anything on the field. So Chase Winovich, he's my least valuable player. Yeah, that's it. He's my LVP. You want to pick the next one? You want me to pick?
I would love to pick the next one.
Pick it. Let me
peruse my list here. Let's switch it up. Let's go with the kind of an upbeat one.
Okay.
Give me your most consistent player.
Ooh, okay. So most consistent. So okay, for this one, I do have two. So I'm gonna give you my number one. My first one, kind of all reliable. He kind of took the spot of another probably a Patriots favorite who left last season. I picked Jacoby Myers. Did you pick him?
No, I literally up until the second letter, I thought you were gonna take my guy.
Ah, shit. Okay, so I picked Jacoby Myers. He only 3 games this year was he under 40 yards receiving. I know 40 yards receiving doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact that he's catching at least 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, however many yards, just consistent. And not just with statistics, he was just always there. It seemed like, especially as the year progressed, he was just like, Max looking for someone on third down. He's scrambling, something like that. It's Jacoby Myers. He makes the tough catches. He makes the catches that remind me of Julian Edelman, remind me of Wes Welker, Danny Amendola. He makes those plays that he catches it. And it's like, how the fuck did he hold on to that? Like he just got nailed. And again, most consistent. He's not gonna, he's not gonna blow your mind with the plays he makes, but he's just always there. You can always count on him. He's always going to put in the effort. No days off, no plays off. I think Jacoby Myers was my number one. My number two.
Hold on. I want to speak on Jacoby because he wandered into my mind for a second.
I bet he did.
But I thought of all the drops he had, which there weren't many, but like there were some big ones.
But
like
there were some.
On the left sideline against Buffalo when we really needed a catch on 3rd and long, he had it. He was right on the sideline, back shoulder, tough ball to get, but it was there. He should have had it. He dropped it. He had a couple of other kind of like key drops, and I was like, that is not consistent for a wide receiver. If he's gonna have, his job is to catch the ball. Catch the fucking ball, but his numbers are great. You're right. He was the model of consistency for a slot receiver, and honestly, I think one of the better slot receivers in the league. Most teams don't utilize them, but there's a hefty amount that do. So I like that. I just wanted my little piece on Jacoby there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I forgot about that play. But still, I'm still kind of generalizing. I think Jacoby Myers, he's the consistent guy for this offense. Wait, do you want to give it? How many consistent guys do you have? Just one?
Just one. So okay, so say your second and then
I'll give you pretty straightforward. Damian Harris.
Yeah.
Was that yours?
No. But that's a great one.
Damian now again, his like statistically not always consistent that way, but I'm just talking when he would split time with Ramondre Stevenson. Damian Harris, you get him the ball, he's going to get you 3 or 4 yards.
Yep.
Most of the time. Again, it's not 100%.
Even when they split carries most of the game, he would still have a great game with half he's always doing something.
I mean, he had, I think, what did he end with? 15 touchdowns. Yeah. So I think he was like 3rd or 4th, I believe. He was second. He was like, yeah, he was second because he was only behind Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. So yeah, I think Damian Harris, he's going to be important in this Buffalo game. I think he is extremely consistent. He doesn't, you don't normally say his name about, messing up. You know what I mean?
Except for in week 1.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to bring it up.
That's why he wasn't your first pick, was because he missed a couple
games.
That's why.
That's exactly
fumbled in week 1.
Yep. Yeah. And yeah, he did miss a couple games as well, but still, it's just, you hand the ball off to Damian Harris, you just kind of assume like, all right, nothing bad is going to happen at least. Yes. There's not going to be anything bad. Kind of this, and that's why the same thing when the ball gets thrown to Jacoby Myers, he's going to try to get the ball. He's probably going to get it. He's going to fight for it. He's going to hold on to it. So those are my 2 most consistent Patriots this season. Jacoby Myers, number 1, and Damian Harris, a pretty distant number 2, but Number 2.
All right.
Oh, what do you got? Who you got?
Oh, my most consistent player is Mr. INT.
Oh, give it to me.
Okay. All I need to say is he is second in picks in the league this year and was last year, which is so difficult to do. If you look at who was number 1 last year, it was Xavier Howard down in Miami. Number 1 this year is Diggs in that terrible hellhole we call Dallas. Where's Xavier Harris this year? He's not in the top 5. Where's Stephon Diggs last year? He wasn't in the top 5. For somebody to be number 2, and very well could have been number 1 last year, just barely missed out on it, but to consistently be at the top of the list, and not even at the top, like top 5, he is in the top 2 in 2 straight years. There's a reason he's called Mr. INT. This guy's going out there, he's taking the ball away. Now, you can poke holes in my argument with multiple dropped interceptions. He could have been leading this list. He dropped 2 against the last Buffalo game, and that drove me crazy. But God damn it, if he's still not making these big plays, I think he basically set the tone for the season with that Sam Darnold pick 6 earlier in the season. That kicked off a run for the Patriots that we were marveled at. So I think he was far and away the most consistent player for me. I can't think of another time in history where a dude has been second or first back-to-back years interceptions wise. I'm sure there has been, but none that I put to memory anyway. Just the model of consistency for me. We got to give this man the bag.
Yeah, no, I love that one. I wasn't even thinking about JC Jackson. I don't know why. I think just because, I don't know, maybe because he is just so consistent. I think that might be it. I just wasn't thinking about it.
If you're so consistent, it slips the mind because you're like, it just, they don't come up. If you don't hear a corner's name, that usually means they're really good.
Yeah. And that's it. So the thing with JC Jackson, and I want to take like the players you say and kind of like ask a question about him. What do you think happens with him in the off season? Cause he's done after this year. Do you think he comes back on the franchise tag? What do you think?
Knowing how crude the Patriots are, I don't think they re-sign him. But if I was running this team, I'd give them anything they want. I'd hand them a blank check, be like, fill that out, whatever you feel necessary. And then I'll throw you another $200K on top of it. Like whatever you want, just fill that out. It's all you. He's still young. The shelf life for corners that I'm always worried about, I'm not worried about with this guy.
No, not at all. He's young.
Yep. Yeah, and we could probably trade him for high value in his last 2 years of a 4-year deal that we give him. I would give him anything he wants. But knowing the straight shooting Patriots, I wouldn't be surprised. And in fact, I don't think they will do it.
I think, or I guess more of a hope. I would assume they franchise tag him just because I don't think from now to the beginning of the season, I don't think they'll get a deal worked out. They franchise tag him. Pie in the sky. I hope they sign him midway through the year. They sign him to like, a 4-year or a 3-year deal or something. Make him, because
if he starts playing like this next year, they have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they have to, because I think what allowed Belichick to let go of Gilmore, I think we talked about it before, is that the fact that they had JC Jackson. They don't have anybody behind JC. Well, not they don't have anybody, but they don't have anybody
they
like
Miles
they did
Bryant.
before.
Come on, pull your head out of your ass.
I love Miles. I didn't put Miles Bryant down for. I might have to bring him up. But yeah, so I think
honorable mention.
I think I think the next category I'm going to bring up, I feel like might be a little longer because I think it's going to it'll make sense. But yeah, I don't know. I hope they bring him back. I hope he stays here long term. He seems to like it here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I didn't even think of JC Jackson for most consistent player. He has been. I mean, he's been great.
The model of consistency.
So my next one I'm going to bring up. I figure we'll kind of go back and forth. You, me. So this one, I think it'll end up being we'll talk about a lot more players than the ones that we brought up. Best off-season addition.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I will take the reins here. This guy, when we got him, I feel like I'm giving like a wedding toast where I'm like, listen, man, this guy, when I met him. So so I'm gonna keep you in suspense until I say his name. So this guy, when we got him from this team, when we got him, a lot of people, a lot of people, I don't know if you do. A lot of people were kind of questionable about him. They were like, I don't know how much he's going to produce. He's from the West Coast. I'm not really sure.
Fuck.
Yeah, see, I know I threw you off with that. I think I know who you thought I was going to say. He's from the West Coast. He's coming from a team. I don't really know what he does. Sure, he's quick. I don't know what he does. Kendrick Bourne, ladies and gentlemen, I think is the best offseason addition. I know the obvious answer. I know what the obvious answer is. And that player is on defense. But and by the way, the offseason additions, I want to break it up into two parts. I'm going to spring this on you right now. We're going to say offseason signings and offseason through the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy. So I think Kendrick Bourne, as the season progressed, he's kind of become the number one receiver. You think about it.
Oh, far away.
He's put up, let me see. I put his stats here. 55 catches for exactly 800 yards. Strange. 5 touchdowns, jet sweeps. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Unstoppable.
When you have 12 rushes for 125 yards.
Give me that all day. Kendrick Bourne, it may not be the most flashy one, statistically the greatest one, but I think him in this offense, he has become one of the most crucial roles in this offense. I'm going Kendrick Bourne. I love Kendrick Bourne.
I like it.
Yeah.
I have him for a different category, which we'll get to later.
Ooh.
So this one here, it's tough. When we split it, if we're splitting it the way you said between the draft and signings or trades or offseason like that, that's tough because I had 2 guys. Both of them were signings. So I'll just pick one ahead of the other and use the other one as an honorable mention. I guess you're going to make me say it. You're going to make me go with the guy who I thought you were going to go with.
Say it.
It's got to be Matthew Judon. I mean,
yes,
he is the man on this team. Disgusting, terrifying human being of a man. I have never seen a player come in and just make an immediate impact like this guy. Like in the first 4 games, this guy was balling out of control, and he was able to keep that pace basically throughout the whole year. He was really, really good. Finished with 12.5 sacks, which is below the number that I wanted, but God damn it, I was reaching. I was reaching because I thought this man's potential is through the roof, and it still really is. He is a absolutely fantastic player. Played every single fucking game for us. He's the ultimate difference maker, and I didn't think defensive ends could make a difference in the modern NFL anymore. It seems like a position where it's just kind of defense doesn't matter, and now edge rushers don't exactly matter because quarterbacks get the ball out so fast, and all the rules cater to the quarterbacks. You can't hit them. This guy made me excited to see guys go get quarterbacks. I have been this excited to watch a pass rusher since Jason Taylor. I haven't been as excited to see a pass rusher since Jason Taylor, and it's just blew me away. This guy truly stunning.
Jason, that's a big compliment. Jason Taylor was awesome. Matt Judon, I think he was the obvious pick.
Awesome. He used to kill Tom Brady too.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt Judon, I think he just everything, even off the field, even in his press conferences, he sounds like a Patriot. He came here, and people forget. Well, people might not forget, but they don't remember as the first thing. He came from the Ravens.
Yep.
Like
our sworn enemy.
The Ravens, and he loves it.
He signed here willingly. Signed with the evil empire, if you will.
Damn right, evil empire. Yeah, Matt Judon. I think that's far and away the correct answer. Who is your number 2?
So it was Hunter Henry, man. I mean, 9 touchdowns, leading all tight ends. I talked about it earlier in this podcast, leading all tight ends and touchdowns in the season. I did not expect this kind of impact. I loved him. He used to make me so much money last year betting on him. I would just bet Hunter Henry 4 catches every game, and he would cash in for me because Justin Herbert loved to air the ball out. But he's just so reliable. He's a dumbed down version of Gronk, which is crazy to say because Gronk's an idiot anyway. But like he is, and that's an ultimate compliment because Gronk's the second greatest tight end ever. And it's like if you're just a slightly lesser version, then you're still spectacular. And he just became a red zone target, multiple 2 touchdown games. Obviously, with touchdown numbers like that, you got to catch a couple in a game. But he was max security blanket many times over the middle. He's looking for Hunter, and he encompassed Jonnu Smith's role and his own role and took it in stride and put points on the board for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hunter Henry, man. He signed for what, 4 years, right? I believe 4 years.
Thank God. Yeah, couldn't sign him for enough.
To
see, to 10.
I'm excited to kind of go back to what fucking Diego and Maddie were saying. I'm excited to see Mac Jones the next couple of years with Hunter.
Yeah. Oh,
because
100%.
Just to see him progress with them, I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be awesome. He has a solid
so good early. It's almost scary. Like, could he catch more than 9 touchdowns next season or the season after?
I don't see why not.
If Mac takes a sophomore slump, which I don't believe will happen, but it could. No. But it could. So let's say Hunter catches 6 next year. Who's to say the next year after that he doesn't catch 11 or 9 again or 10, anything like that? Like, if this is the starting bar where they're just getting their chemistry down pat, he didn't do a whole lot in the first 4 games either.
Nope.
For him to come on so hard late in the season and finish with 9 tubs could put up big, like Tony Gonzalez type numbers.
I would love to see it. And by the way, we were kind of texting about it a couple of days ago. Tight end numbers are down severely right now. I think recently it's been 18, 19. That's been your highest touchdown numbers for a tight end. Right now it's what, 9, right? Isn't it 9 or 10? Yeah, 9. And that's Hunter Henry.
Was the most.
So yeah, no, that's wild. Yeah, Hunter Henry. Didn't even think about him. So since we're on the Patriots offseason additions, who do you think? Well, actually, no. You know what? I kind of want to bring up someone else. I don't know all of his stats and everything, but it seems like he's doing a lot. Devin Godshaw. How the fuck do you say
Godshaw?
Godshaw. God damn it.
The God.
This guy pleasantly surprised by him. Very pleasantly surprised. He came from the Jets. Yep. People said that he was, he's a big body. He can, block up the middle and everything on the D line. It just seems like he's always doing the right thing. He's always making plays. I think that just kind of goes to show that Belichick can take these minor players or whatever players from other teams, and he can kind of plug them in and just be like, hey, I'm going to put a Jets starter as kind of a backup starting role, kind of pseudo role there, and he's going to come out and just make plays. I think he's a great addition as well. I mean, and then people always forget Kyle Van Noy came back this year.
Damn right he did.
My man.
Yeah, he did.
My man. I don't know. Kyle Van Noy is awesome.
That dude must have the Patriots logo on the ground in his garage. That dude just loves the Patriots.
Love him. Love Kyle Van Noy. So I did want to ask you what other additions did you really like other than the ones that you brought up, or draft, whatever you want to talk about?
So let's jump into the draft here, and it's so easy to go with Mac Jones. Like, it would be, I didn't put Mac Jones for any of these awards.
Me neither. Because dude,
it's a given. It's a given.
Yeah. And I love it. It doesn't even seem like he's fuck yeah. Okay, sorry.
Okay, because it was so obvious. It's like, why would I be giving a 5-year vet any of these? Oh wait, no, it's
shit, he's a rook.
Yeah,
he's a rook.
Shit. It's like we're not going to do like best rookie player because it's obviously the quarterback that led us to the playoffs. So to avoid just speaking when not necessary, my best offseason addition throughout the draft, Christian Barmore, my man, 46 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 23 assisted tackles. He's out there making easy impacts. Him and Godshaw were 2 just locked down, stuff the middle. Well, Lawrence Guy got involved in there too. Patriots defense was stellar because of the interior pressure.
Yeah,
me too. And those guys were the big staples for it. And once again, Billy B, he's just doesn't even draft. He's not looking at other schools. He just calls up Nick Saban. He's like, who do you got? Who could I use? He's like, well, our quarterback's pretty good. All right, we'll take him. Who else you got? Any other throw-ins? They're like, yeah, I mean, we got like this Christian Barmore guy. He's pretty all right. What position? No, he's a defensive tackle. You love him, Bill. He's like, all right, I guess we'll take him.
Bring him over.
Like, yeah, whatever. I'm sure I could use him somewhere. And he comes over, and Bill's just like, Saban was right. Shit.
Beast. He said, and this is probably the biggest compliment I can give Barmore. I get Will Fork vibes from him.
Yeah,
I get those
like
type
early
of
Will
like
Fork vibes when you're like, this guy
dominant.
Really be sick.
He's busting through double team. And by the way, his injury, everything came back negative.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Patriots didn't practice today, but if they did, they had like the simulated practice thing. He would have been limited. So he's technically back practicing somehow. So hopefully he comes back. Yeah, Barmore. And again, I can't actually, you know what? I can't pick one person because I have been picked for another thing. So you know what? Fuck it. I'll say it. I'll pick Mac Jones. That'll be my second one. You know, biggest addition.
He's valid for basically all of these.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I know that some people might not be sold on him. But apparently. I think I mean, dude, what can you say? He threw for almost 4,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, 13 picks. Like that, yeah, 13 picks. Oh no, some of them weren't his fault. Whatever. If you give him all the ones that were actually his fault, he's probably in single digits. But whatever. The guy looks composed all the time. He makes his rookie mistakes, but it doesn't seem like anything that lingers with him. I mean, Mac Jones. It's tough not to put him on this list. Mac Jones is going to be the quarterback for the next 10, 15 years. I'm excited about it.
Locked in.
Mac Jones, I think he's kind of the cheat code. He is the biggest offseason addition in the last maybe since Randy Moss, since Revis, maybe like talking like biggest like impact players, right? I don't know. I mean,
that's a lot of impact.
I'm just thinking because God, the guy's so good. And like, I get that he's a rookie. He makes his mistakes. I'm not absolving him from his mistakes, but I mean, he's got a good head on his shoulders. It seems like, everybody has nothing but good things to say about him. You know, you don't have to worry about his athletic ability dwindling. You brought this up earlier. Everything he's doing just reading the defenses from the pocket for the most part. In fact, I'd like to see him run a little bit more. But yeah, no, Mac Jones, he'd be my other offseason addition. But everybody's showing up, dude. Jalen Mills, Dietrich Wise got signed this offseason. Yep. People forget that. He was on the team last year, but he got re-signed. He's doing well. Kyle Van Noy. I feel like I'm missing some people, but I can't even think of them. Jamie
brought
Collins.
Him back.
Forgot about Jamie Collins.
Weird because you're like, oh, he's been on the team the last 5 years. No, he laughed. He cashed
bounced
out,
around.
Got his money, and he came back.
Good for him. But yeah, that was great off-season additions. Okay, next one. You pick. What do you got?
Biggest surprise. Who were you surprised by?
Okay, let's see. You go first. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll take it. So I had your man. And there's not a whole lot to say here because we already talked about him. Kendrick Bourne. I did not expect him to have an impact like this. I thought
no one did.
Nelson Aguilar would be much more relied on with him being a mostly short receiver guy and being able to go deep. But Kendrick Bourne caught just as much, if not more, deep passes. We already read off his stats, but he was a big play guy for us, more consistent, stayed on the field more than Nelly did. And I just had my hesitations, I guess. I expressed this when we talked very early in our career, in our matrimony together, that I was hesitant because he was a number one receiver for a team that went to the Super Bowl, but Jimmy G didn't pass the ball a lot. They were a very run-heavy team. I imagine it would be something similar this year, and we basically saw a similar outline, but I wasn't impressed with him when he went to the Super Bowl. But he proved me wrong. He's a big play kind of guy. That touchdown against the Cowboys sealed it for me. I'm like, this dude can take the top off a team. He had that beautiful touchdown against the Saints too, where he plucks it out of the dude's hand, toe taps the sideline, sticks it over, and then he points at the ref. He's like, I
forgot about that. I forgot about that play.
Just so much swag in him. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, if he's going to do stuff like that, I'm going to have to love him. Like, I'd get this man's tattooed on my arm. absolutely love what I've seen from him. I'm sold. I'm in. I was so hesitant.
Yeah. No, and again, yeah, I think a lot of people were hesitant. I mean, again, it kind of, like you said, we brought it up. It was like, what's going on with him, blah, 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 what's happening. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne. Awesome. Biggest surprise for me. I'm going to go kind of just for how I've seen like this position go with Damian Harris, like last year. I'm going to go Ramondre. Biggest surprise for me. Because I know he did all those he had that 99-yard run in the preseason, all that stuff. But let's just kind of be honest. What happens with running backs in this system? They normally redshirt or they don't play that much, a la Damian Harris, like I was saying last year. Ramondre Stevenson or Ramondre Stevenson, or I said Ramondre. So I have my little accents back. But Stevenson is he's your 1B running back with Damian Harris. Legit. Yeah. So I think him, I mean, everything from, I remember when the season started, when, you had the running backs coach, you had everybody, he's got a lot to learn. He's got this and that. He's got to figure out, it's not just about running. It's not just about this. It's not just about that. Ramondre Stevenson has excelled more than I thought he would. He's picking up blitzes. He's reading things. He can catch when he has to as well. I don't know. I'm very pleasantly surprised, and I love Damian Harris. But every time Stevenson's on the field, I'm like, ooh, shit's about to happen.
Yeah, like I'm not worried at all that our number one running back's off the field. It's like this guy's just as capable. In fact, he's almost more of a big play magnet. I mean, Damian Harris had that long run against the Bills, but for the most part, he's a punching in at the goal line, wear you down. He'll get many 10-yard runs. Ramondre can go the distance at any point. His season stats are great. 4.6 yards per carry. I'll take that all day. 600 yards as a backup behind Damian Harris, who was just shy of 1,000. Had about 70 less carries than Damian Harris, but still 300 yards less than him is pretty crazy. And then the 5 touchdowns, which most of it came when Harris was out. But still, he just stepped right in. Classic Patriots thing. It's next man up. I don't expect a drop in production at all, Ramondre. I don't care if Damian Harris is out for 2 games, 1 game, 1 snap, or 1 season. You're coming in here and you're doing the exact same thing he can do. And he did that.
Yeah, I think with him, like you said, it seems like when he's in the game, it's like, sure, Harris grinds you down. He's like, I had him for my most consistent 3 or 4 yards per game, or per run. But it seems like when Stevenson's in there, it's just it's different. It does seem like he busts out 8 or 9 yard runs a little bit more. And I don't know if that's him, if that's just the play. I'm not savvy enough to know what the hell it is. But no, Stevenson, when he's in there, the chance for a big play, you got to look out if you're a defense. I don't know. I think that Stevenson is, I can't wait to see them run all over Buffalo next year.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Because we have all the tools. We got 2-headed monster that is going to hurt you.
Put my glasses back on. Yeah, no, we got everybody.
It's business.
Well, you see, so, okay, I took my glasses off. I had this dumbass little line. I don't know if you can see it. It's very weird. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's like a unibrow with just a line there. So I'm going to put the glasses back on. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I think Stevenson is going to come up big in the playoffs this year and moving forward. And I think that makes it so if you want to trade Damian Harris, or if you want, you just have more flexibility now back there, which, I think is important. So biggest surprise, Ramondre Stevenson. That's my guy right there. Big Dre Day.
All right. So I went last time. You picked the next one.
Well, no. Who's your biggest surprise? Oh, no. You said Kendrick Bourne. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay. Let's go. Okay. So all we have left. So we got 3 left. I'm going to go unsung hero. You go first with that one.
I love it. And this is a guy that we talk about, but we don't talk about enough. We talk about how not talked about he is among people who talk about people.
People who talk about people. You stupid.
It is the model of consistency, the anchor of our defense.
I know who
Devin goddamn McCourty.
Yep.
Every year.
You son of a bitch.
Out, he is always our unsung hero. He does 3 picks this year, nothing crazy, but played every game, every snap, and continues to run this defense, calls out the coverage when it needs. He's a winner. He is a stereotypical, this is a guy on your team if you're winning games.
Yep.
Give me him.
Yep. No, dude, Devin. Shit, I didn't even think about Devin McCourty. Fuck.
Really? He wasn't yours?
That's how unsung he is.
Yes,
I didn't even think about him. I didn't even think about him.
I don't think he's ever sung once. No one has ever sung about Devin McCourty.
You know what's wild? He started his career as a corner too, which is
and they were wild. Like, they're like, you're doing pretty good. You got 5 picks in the year before as a corner, but they're like, we're gonna need you to play safety. And he's like, all right.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because what's his name? I think that was the year that Aqib Talib came in.
Yeah,
and they had to kind of push him there.
They're like, we got Area 31. We're gonna need you to play safety. He's like,
I mean, shit. I can't blame. I can't blame him.
Of course.
Shit, Devin McCourty, man. Shit. Okay. Unsung hero. Did you have 1 or 2 for him?
I had a backup. Hero? I have a backup too.
Who is it? Who you got?
Jacoby Myers. No one talks about him. No one gives a shit. No one talks about him.
Literally, nobody talks about him.
No one. And we talked about this. Slot receivers don't get loved unless you're Julian Edelman. And even then, at his height, he got marginal love among like the whole NFL sphere. But Jacoby Myers gets even less.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think people in New England know about know how important he is. But outside, like you said, he'll catch the ball. It's like, oh, this Myers guy again. Like,
do you think Chargers fans are talking about, oh man, we need a guy like Jacoby Myers?
Fuck
no, they're not fucking saying that.
Hell no. Jacoby, shit, that's a good one for unsung hero. I didn't even think of that because I had him.
Unsung as fuck.
That's good. Yeah, him too. Never sung a day in his life.
No.
Unsung hero. I wanted to think of an interesting one here. I was kind of like, let's see who it is. It ended up being not that interesting, but Shaq Mason, offensive line. When the offensive line was in shambles, who played? Shaq Mason. Let me ask you something, Liam. Have you heard many people say Shaq Mason's name this year?
Not once.
That's a goddamn good thing for an offensive line.
Yes, it is.
That is a good thing. How many times have you heard Isaiah Wynn, Trent Brown, even David Andrews sometimes? How many times have you heard Ted Karras, Mike Onwenu? How many times have you heard, what's his name, Justin Herron? How many times have you heard Shaq Mason's name? 0. That is the call sign for an offensive lineman to know that you're doing a good job. No one brings up your name. Because Shaq Mason, he is there. He's solid. He moved around. He played a little right guard, a little left guard, kind of moved as he had to. Shaq Mason,
no problems.
No problems. I also had David Andrews on that list as well.
Yeah.
David Andrews, nobody talks about him. He actually came back.
No one gets little appreciation like offensive linemen do.
Nobody, especially a center. Yeah. No one gives a shit about the center. Like David Andrews was going to sign away this year. I think he was going to sign with the Dolphins, wasn't he?
I think the Dolphins,
I think Ted Karras came from the Dolphins. I forget where he was going to sign, but he was pretty much going to go away. I think it was the Dolphins. It may not have been, but then he pulled a Josh McDaniels. He kind of pulled back on that, came back, and now he's
about to put the pen to paper. He's like, wait, what am I doing?
Yeah, he was like, well, wait a minute, I can go be the starter.
I gotta leave. He just gets up. He's like, I gotta go.
Well, no, that's basically what happened because I remember that Andrews, it was reported he was going to sign elsewhere. So the Patriots signed Ted Karras to be his backup, who Ted Karras has played very well this year. They signed him to, I think, like a 2-year deal or something like that. Then all of a sudden, the next day, it was like David Andrews is coming back. So it's like, holy shit. Like, yeah. But yeah, Shaq Mason, David Andrews, those are my 2. I just love offensive linemen.
That is unsung, unsung.
That's what it comes down to. So,
all righty.
What do you want me to pick next?
Who picked last time? No, you did it last time, right? You picked unsung.
I did unsung. Yeah, I did unsung because then you went. All right, we got 2 left, I think.
Yeah,
right?
so favorite,
they're good ones too. They're good ones.
Yeah, we got it between biggest letdown and favorite play.
Yep. Oh shit, we got 3 because I have one more.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
MVP.
No, we do have 3. Yeah, you're right.
Shit, I didn't pick one for biggest letdown, but no, keep going though. I will.
Okay, so I'll give you. I'll give you.
Oh no.
Think about
yeah, I did. I got.
You did. Okay. Well, still, give me your favorite play from the season. Come on, take a trip down memory lane with me.
Okay.
What play tickles your fancy?
I have two plays.
As do I.
Okay. So, shit, I hope we don't have.
That would be so funny.
Plays. So, the first one I hold near and dear to my heart. It involves a player who is no longer with us.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, thank God. It involves a player that we actually talk about at the very end of every episode. Kind of he's known as Sweet Feet around these parts. Let me set the scene for you. First game against Miami, right? Third and 11,
Ooh.
not 3rd and 10. No. 3rd and 11. I don't know what created that.
Long.
Who knows? Maybe it was Mac Jones' little dipsy-do throw that he did behind his back, his first drop back of the year.
He's not our future quarterback, so that makes sense.
According to our former guests. So first game against Miami, 3rd down and 11, just under 6 minutes. I think it was like 5:50 left in the third quarter. Down 7. Mac Jones drops back to pass. Rusher's coming in his face. What do? I don't know. Let me drop a perfect raindrop in a bucket throw to James White. That play, to me, so many things. One, I saw that play and I said, yeah, this is the guy. When people ask, hey, Mike, real quick, Mike, when did you know when Mac Jones was the guy? That was when I knew. You want to know why? How many times did we see Tom Brady do that? So many times.
Yep.
He would always drop the ball like that. I saw Mac Jones do that. I was like, oh, he's got the touch. He's got the awareness.
And he knows to go to the best player on the field.
3rd and 11, a wheel route out of the backfield. Perfection. And also it involves James White, who, by the way, if he was playing this year, I got to think there's a win in there somewhere that James White would help him get.
Oh, 100%. In fact,
somewhere.
We would be insufferable. A podcast wouldn't go by where we didn't. There's already not. We utter his name every podcast at the end, but we do.
Our goal is to get James White on this podcast.
Oh, we have to.
Mark it down right now. Episode 25. Holy shit. Look at that. Half a quarter of a century, right? A century is 100 years. So we're 25. That's a quarter of that. I think. Yeah. Sounds good. But yeah, sure. we will get James White on this podcast at some point. But yeah, that's my number one favorite play, again, because it happened so early. It was one of those plays where you see it and you're like, holy shit. Because we didn't know Mac Jones at this point. It was the first game, third quarter. And it was just like, holy shit. He can drop it in the bucket when he has to. And he's done that since then. He's done that to Myers. He's done that to Bolden. He's done that to Stevenson. He's done that numerous times since then. So that is my first play. Before I give my second one, I want to ask you, what is your favorite play?
So I had 2 as well. I'll give you.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you did, because now we'll do the little ping pong back and forth. Okay.
So I'll give you my lesser favorite of the 2.
Oh shit! I should have done that. Fuck. Okay.
Jacoby Myers, first touchdown, baby.
Oh,
give me that.
Oh, I almost put that one. Yep.
It seemed pretty obvious to me, and the sweet irony was it didn't even come from the rookie Mac Jones. It came from Brian Hoyer late in the blowout. But God damn it, that's still his first touchdown ever. Give me that.
Ever. Oh, that was.
It was long overdue too. He made us wait for it. He was letting that beef soak, sizzle, and boil over time, slow cooking that broad, just waiting for us. And then it finally happened. The tea kettle was ringing, the pot overflowed, whatever expression you want to use, he got in that end zone. It was glorious. I cried a couple tears. It was magical.
Oh God. I honestly, I'm not going to say I forgot about that, because I didn't, but I did. No. Yeah, I didn't have that.
Wow. I forgot about that. That's why I was afraid. I was afraid if we ever had one that was the same, it would be that one.
Almost, because I thought about it as I was like thinking about Jacoby Myers before, and I was like, oh, like he's just so good. I don't know if Liam would have that, but holy shit, you did. Okay, yeah, that's a good. I love that play, especially it happened like you said from Brian Hoyer. Like,
yeah, so random. I love the sweet irony of that.
Wild. And I think on that same play, because that was against the Browns, right?
Yep.
I think I saw all Browns fans bitching on Twitter about that, because they were like, oh, it's kind of a bad look for all these Patriots players to be, celebrating while the Browns player is down on the field. I don't give a shit about your player.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Like
I do not give a shit about your guy.
Dude, not at all. If the creature from Alien bursted out of your player's stomach at midfield, I don't care. Jacoby
Not a
Myers
care.
scored a touchdown.
Not a care.
Not concerned. I'm not batting an eye. I'm not looking at that guy. I don't care. If it sprouts spider legs and walks his dead carcass off the field, I don't care. Jacoby Myers scored a touchdown.
I would probably still be distracted.
I wouldn't notice if it started eating fans and flipping cars. I'd have no idea.
Even know.
Yeah,
wouldn't even know. No, wouldn't even know. But yeah, so that great pick. So my second favorite play of the year. It was a wild game. Patriots Cowboys.
Okay, good. Not mine.
Oh, thank God. Okay, cool. I have a third. I have a third one too, but I hope you didn't take it. So
there were just 27. You're like,
okay. I really only have three. But I don't know if you'll pick. And then I have like a favorite. I have a favorite play because it sucked. But so the Cowboys had just scored, right? Just over 2 minutes left. You're like, holy shit! The Cowboys just took a 5-point lead. All of a sudden, Mac Jones drops back to pass, right? He's like, oh no, what am I going to do? I see my boy, Kendrick Bourne down there. Throws it to Kendrick Bourne, 75-yard touchdown.
House call.
Insanity. The Patriots took, I think, like a 2 or 3 point lead after that. But it was one of those plays like that. The end of that game was wild.
Chaos.
Where it was, and you see, because I think, what was it? Diggs was on him, right? Covering.
Yep. He bit on the double route.
Yeah, like he bit on it. Bourne caught it. I think like the safety of the corner came in to try to either break it up, pick it off, or something. Bourne just took it and ran 75 yards.
Yeah. See, that was the first when you sent me this a couple days ago, and I looked at this category. That was the first play I thought of, but I was like, I can get better than that.
Yeah, that's why it was my second one.
Just because they lost.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't want to talk about the game other than that. But yeah, Kendrick Bourne, 75-yard touchdown. That was just awesome. I know they lost in overtime there, but that was just an awesome play.
It was stellar. That's like the most dynamic play of the season, I would say. Most dynamic is that one.
Loved it.
So my favorite play. And everything comes full circle. Like the great philosopher that I have no idea his name is once said, everything comes full circle.
Yeah, who did say that? I don't
know. Probably Dr.
Someone.
Seuss.
Someone said it, probably.
Some genius. Let me paint a word picture for you. It's a dark and stormy Sunday night of week 4. Tom Brady and the Bucs come to Foxborough to play. What are we going to do to welcome our former ambassador to success? Our former Pasha, our shepherd who guided us through the valley of darkness.
You're so stupid.
How will we warm him back to our lovely stadium that's no longer his home? He got evicted and now he's coming back and we have to give him a warm welcome. Who does this? But a third down sack by Matthew Judon, throwing Tom Brady over his shoulder, standing up and wiping blood off his mouth after he had just decapitated our former great. He set a tone in that game, and if we won, this probably would have been the greatest play I've ever seen. But he showed that you cannot come back in here and fuck around on your old team, because this is not your old team anymore. This is not your team. This is a whole new era that you are not a part of, you senile, old, wrinkly, liver spotted fuck.
Get him.
Just put the hammer down on him. Shit. I loved that Matthew Judon was able to get a key sack on Tom Brady. It's a new school versus old school, new kingdom versus old kingdom clash right there. And the new kingdom won, baby. God damn it. Screw you, Tom Brady.
I forgot about that play up until just now. I remember it too.
The was so good with the red sleeve.
Yep. And I remember that sack too, because he gave him a little extra when he got him down there too.
It was like he rolled over.
Yep.
And then because Tom Brady kind of ended up on top of Judon and then he just throws him back on the ground.
Oh, I remember that though. Holy shit. That was a good play. That was a good one. Yeah.
I watched it naked a couple times before this podcast.
No, I mean, I can't blame you.
Fantastic.
That was, oh shit. I forgot about that. That was an awesome play, man. Damn, that's a good one. So yeah, that's
put a lot of
that's a good one. My other one was just the Mac Jones bullet to Kendrick Bourne against the Browns for the touchdown. It was like in between two Browns players.
That's a stellar one, though. That was a C.
Love that one.
Up high.
Yeah. Love that one.
That was
up high. Bourne jumped up, caught it.
I swear, you and me talked about that touchdown for like 10 minutes. We were like, this was fucking marvelous.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah, no, that was good. Shit, man. I forgot about that. All right. So far we got shit. Do we go good or do we go bad?
Let's end on a high note. So go bad.
Okay, cool. So we are going to do the
biggest letdown.
I think we're gonna do the biggest letdown. Liam, I'm gonna let you go first. I do have my headphones on. I just have to get up from my computer real quick. Keep talking. I can hear you. I trust you though. I think you can talk for the 45 seconds I'm gonna be gone. Biggest letdown. Biggest letdown.
I think we probably have the same guy here. If not, like it's fairly close.
All right, you go, man. Biggest letdown. You.
Like I said earlier, it's got to be Jonnu Smith. We signed him for a big deal. I was expecting a huge part in this offense for him. I was expecting another Hernandez, Gronk, two-headed monster, two tight end offense that we are just going to run dynamic. I was thinking like 7 touchdowns for Henry and 8 for Jonnu Smith and stuff like that. Like I was expecting them both to get big touchdown numbers and be more productive than our wide receivers. That wasn't the case. It didn't materialize, not to any dismay from Jonnu Smith, because it was, just part of the game plan. It wasn't anything that he specifically did. He didn't have many drops. In fact, he made a lot of spectacular catches when given the opportunity, but just wasn't there for him. The opportunity wasn't there. I'm still holding out hope that he's going to have a big game. Not even hope. I truly believe he's going to have a big game in the playoffs. And next year, I think he'll also be far more of a participant in the offense. But Jonnu Smith is just like, man, like I still get hung up on it. Like the potential is there. He really could have been that like 1B, 1A tight end for us, and underutilized is the only word I would use to describe that. Josh McDaniels doesn't know what he's got. This is a guy who's juggling 2 beautiful girls right now, and he can't decide on which one he wants to use. And eventually he just kind of sold out and picked one and disregarded the other, I guess would be the word I would use to describe it. Just kind of shunned her to the side. He's like, hey, I'm fully committed to this girl. I'm sorry, I can't see you anymore. Now, Jonnu Smith is the odd man out.
That's the perfect metaphor. That's the perfect metaphor, man.
The metaphor of the chicks. Clearly, I'm a love struck.
So Jonnu Smith was actually my number 2. So I had him, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to pick, because I think Liam, I think I know you so well. I was like, I think Liam is going to pick him. So I'm going to pick someone else. But no, Jonnu Smith, though, I'm still with you. I think he's going to have a big game at some point. It has to be, right? So I think it's going to be this time, hopefully, this game against the Bills. But yeah, Jonnu Smith, he just, I don't know. You got to use him more. But my biggest letdown, I'm going to go Josh Uche.
Wow.
Yeah, like kind of along the same lines of Winovich, where Uche last year, I know he didn't play the whole year, but when he came in, we were all pumped.
Yeah.
We were all like, he's going to be the next, he might be the next Hightower moving forward. Like he might be the next, center of the defense, all this stuff. I didn't really do much. 12 tackles, 3 sacks. I didn't even know he had 3 sacks. I don't know where those sacks
because I was going to say he definitely participated. I saw him make like some plays. Most of them were sacks.
He did. And I think what it comes from me is that I think personally, and it seemed like kind of around New England, I just expected so much more, kind of the Jonnu Smith thing.
Last year he was far more effective.
Exactly. I expected him and Winovich to show up and show out this year, and neither one of them did. And I don't think Uche's in the doghouse like Winovich. I think Uche's going to be here for a while. I'm sure he'll be fine, but it just, I don't know. I just
didn't materialize for him.
Yeah, I just expected a little bit more out of him, to be honest. But yeah, that's my biggest.
Do you think any of that's because they signed Jamie Collins though? Like when you get a veteran that goes on the market mid-season,
yeah.
Like I would be willing to bet that most of Uche's sacks and tackles were early in the season, and then we get Jamie Collins back and
definitely were. Yep.
Yeah. Bill and Steve are looking at Uche and they're like, all right, you're great, but we won 2 Super Bowls with this other guy. I'm sorry, he's a veteran. We kind of gotta go with him. You'll get your shot in like a year or two, but like, hold on here.
Yeah, no, it's still his second year too. So it's or is
exactly.
it second
so
or
he's got time?
Third? Yeah,
it's second.
Yeah, it's just like, I think Jamie Collins being here definitely kind of clogs it up a little bit. It's definitely a full room in the linebacker, department there. But yeah, Uche is going to be my letdown. I will actually say, and this is kind of a personal letdown. I brought his name up a ton. So Ronnie Perkins has I want this man to play because I think he is going to be what Christian Barmore is to the defensive line. Ronnie Perkins is going to be to the linebacking core what Barmore is to the D line.
When he eventually
plays. The man has been on IR. He's been injured. He comes off. They put him back on. He goes on the COVID list.
I was going to say that he gets COVID.
I just want to, and then they activated him like last week, I think. But it was, I think it was just more of like a roster thing that they were doing.
They're like, dude, you haven't played. I hope you don't think you're playing in the last game of the season.
Ronnie Perkins is my letdown, and it has nothing to do with him. It's because I want to see you play.
It's the ultimate tease. It's like
he's a tease. That's what he is. I promise you. I think my one of my big predictions, which I'm sure we'll do at the end of the season. Hopefully, it doesn't happen for the next couple of weeks. Ronnie Perkins next year is going to be a breakout star for this team.
I hope so.
I wish he played this year. But yeah, Ronnie Perkins is my other one. Yeah,
he treated us like a stripper in a strip joint wearing a winter jacket. You're like, what are you going to do for me right now? Like,
what the fuck? Yeah, no, that's what I think of when I think of Ronnie Perkins. I think
you nailed it.
I'm like, God, yeah, you jacket stripper. But yeah, that's my letdown. Do you have any letdowns before we end with before we end the awards?
Had Jonnu Smith. That was my only letdown.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now?
Mills, but that's fine.
What we're gonna do? Injury. He's nursing his injury.
You're right. What's wrong with me? Why am I
inconsiderate dick?
No fault of his own.
All right, MVP, big one. I'm gonna throw it to you.
No.
Who you got for the MVP? This is a big one.
I know it is. I know, and the offense is the focus of most teams nowadays. My MVP had to be an offensive guy.
Okay.
And the offense started and stopped with this guy. He did not play every game, but he still contributed 15 touchdowns. It's Damian Harris. I mean, he was the staple of this team.
Oh, let's go.
He upped his value so much. He was everything for this team. Mac was so good because he had a guy that ran for 15 touchdowns. The defense is like, week 7, they're like, all right, well, this guy already has 8 touchdowns. So they're like, we have to stop the run. And then Mac throws it all over the yard. Damian Harris still gets a rushing touchdown. They're like, all right, we fucked the whole thing up. We couldn't stop anyone. And it's just continuously, like, week after week, he misses a couple games. What did he miss? 2? I think it was.
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
So, and then he comes back, doesn't miss a beat, has a 2-touchdown game in his first game back. I'm like, oh my God, doesn't impress you at all. Like, he's not a Curtis Martin where he's swole, where he's a beast. He's not an Adrian Peterson where he's going to stiff arm you into a different nationality. He is just somebody who's going to make a cut, soar through a hole, and pound ahead, fight for an extra couple of yards. He's a end zone magnet. Only 2 fumbles, 200 total carries, fumbles the ball twice, still threw in 18 receptions, which isn't anything stellar, but friggin' shows he can catch the ball. He was out there. He got a couple of screens. Second in the league for TDs.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, defensive. My defensive MVP. My MVP starts and stops there.
Okay, I like that one. That is, I don't like that. I can't say anything bad about that. Yeah. I mean, Damian Harris, I love him. I mean, I've told you in the conversations we have where it's like, Stevenson or Harris, I don't know, just Harris, when he's back there, I just feel more, I don't know, confident. Confident, more solid. I don't know. Yeah. So my MVP, so I went back and forth on a lot of people here.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people.
This wasn't easy.
So I'll throw them out afterwards who I thought. But my MVP, it's as with the rest of my list, kind of comes from left field. He's made Mac Jones' life a little bit easier. He's made the Patriots' life a little bit easier. He's made Belichick's coaching decisions a little bit easier. It's fourth and short? Do we go for it? Do we kick a field goal? What do we do? This player is tied for first in points for the year. He's second in field goals made. Ladies and gentlemen, my MVP for the year.
I was wondering, I was like, who are you talking about?
Is Nick fucking Folk. Wow. Reason being, one, reliable as shit. Reliable as shit.
Do you have his numbers?
Secondly, yeah. So obviously first in points, tied for second. I don't think he hasn't missed a field goal under 50 yards all year. I think he's only missed like 3 field goals, if I remember correctly. But with Nick Folk, the reason I picked him, not even just stats, we know that he's solid kicking. He's made Belichick's life a little bit easier in bringing up Mac Jones, because instead of being like, oh shit, like we got to go for it. We're on the 42 yard or, we're on like the 39 yard line. Do we go for it? Do we not? What do we do? No, we're going to kick it because we got Nick Folk back there who's going to kick a field goal, who's going to kick ass.
He went 36 of 39 and his longest was 53 yards.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 36 to 39, I have no issues with that.
No issue
with that because I think he missed he missed a 58-yarder probably. I think against the Bucks. Against the Bucks, he missed that one.
Missed.
But yeah, Nick Folk though, he's especially in a year where how many times do you see kickers missing easy kicks or missing extra points? That's a big one.
Extra points is crazy.
Yeah, Folk. I mean, I know Folks missed like less than a handful.
Drop trial. Keep talking.
Yeah, he's missed a few, but I mean, my thing, Nick Folk, especially the fact that Nick Folk came from the Jets. Okay. And obviously we don't like the Jets, but so Nick Folk came over, he had to replace Gostowski. We don't know how he's going to be. I don't know. Nick Folk though, he comes out and he makes it. So he almost makes so Mac Jones just has to get to a certain point, at the end of the field. And then Nick Folk can take over. How many games? Like I said, I think Nick Folk more is the MVP for this team, more because of how shitty the rest of the kickers are in this league. I mean, you got kickers who are missing 20-yard field goals, 25-yard field goals. Nick Folk goes out there. I'm not worried that he's going to miss this kick anymore. I'm not worried at all. I think Nick Folk goes out there, he kicks it, he gets his thing, he gets his 3 points. 3 points are better than nothing. How many times with this Patriots team do we see some drives stop, stall, anything like that? You got Patriots drives that stall. It's like, holy shit, what do? We can't get the touchdown. Nah, trot Nick Folk out there. We're good. When drives stall, Folk comes out. So yeah, Folk is my MVP. Honestly, who I had for the MVP was going to be kind of boring. Bill Belichick. He was going to be one of my MVPs.
See, I thought about that too.
That's
a layup. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about it, but no, I think so. Yeah. That's my MVP, Nick Folk. I dig it.
That's an off the wall one too. I out of all the people I thought of, Nick Folk wasn't one of them. In fact, I forgot that we even had a kicker.
Who else do you think of?
I thought of Judon.
Yep.
I thought of Judon. Hold on, I have it in my notes because I have like rough notes.
I don't know where Hightower should have been, but I feel like Hightower should have been somewhere on.
Yeah, he was definitely a consideration for me. So I had Belichick, Judon, and Jacoby Myers just written down for some fucking reason.
I mean, his worst picks than Jacoby Myers.
There definitely are. And I don't think that belongs on there. But yeah, so those are the names I had. And then of course.
Yeah, no. So that was our solid things.
And Trent Brown. I had Trent Brown too, because when he came back, we took off.
When he came back, and I think we were saying it for the last couple of weeks before he came back. Where it was the offensive line sucks.
Till he comes back. Just wait till he comes back. We're gonna be fine.
And he comes back, and look what happens. Look what happens. Can you imagine running or trying to defend a team when you have Trent Brown, Shaq Mason. You got Jakob Johnson back there, and you got Damian Harris or Stevenson running
if
at
you run
you.
to the outside and they pull,
you're fucked.
Big ass Trent Brown. He's coming around the line looking to block somebody, dude. Oh my god,
he's a beast. When you see him running, when you see him in front, I think I brought was it last week or the week before, where it was one of the corners were coming at him, and like they just fell. They just fell.
Dude, my legs would turn into like the cartoon character legs where they're just spinning in place, and I'm like,
ding. Yep, gone. So yeah, that was good. I like that. I like that little awards. I think at the once the Patriots season ends, I think we'll do another final thing. Just kind of nothing like this, but we'll think of something to do. We are both creative fellows, so I think we'll think of it.
We can do playoff awards.
Before this is the longest podcast we've ever had. I think before we dip out, Bills game Saturday night, 8:15, I think, or 8:30. I think it's 8:15. Round 3. One thing I will say. Fuck the Bills fans. I'm not going to be civil with you sons of bitches. I don't understand it. I don't understand. We are right. Yeah, I know, but it would have been too much. We are listen, first of all,
it would have.
Bills fans, congrats. Okay. I saw a bunch of Bills fans like found my tweets when I was like, when the Patriots took over the AFC East. Yep. They found my tweets and they were like, oh, now what? Now what? I was like, I took it. I took it on the face. I can't do it. I took it on the chin. There was nothing I could have done. But let me tell you something. The playoffs are a different animal. When you play the Patriots in the playoffs, it is different. Last time the Patriots played you in the playoffs, we won. Patriots, by the way, were not called the Patriots back then because it was so goddamn long ago. But I cannot wait for this game. Bills fans, I will not give you any sort of civil, cordial, anything like that. We are rivals.
Yes, we are.
Like I said earlier in this podcast, I'm a Patriots fan. Anybody else, I hate you.
Yeah.
I'm not a hater. I'm just a Patriots fan. It's as simple as that. Bills, you guys, cute little team. Nice little team.
Adorable.
You got Stephon Diggs, very nice player.
Really, really hard. They
try hard. And guess what? They got results, I think, because I don't know if it's, I think, you beat the Jets, which was cool. Yeah, that was cool. I mean, you did beat the Patriots once. Patriots beat you once as well. Yes. So it was a cute little game. Josh Allen, nice little guy, complains a lot to the refs. I don't know if you guys know that, but he's probably the biggest.
It tends to work bitch. Though, because they protect him a fair amount, especially because he gives himself up a lot, running out of bounds and stuff like that. And the refs are always still looking out for him. So you got to respect their candor there.
Good for him. Yep. So
luxury.
Bills game, it's going to be like 18 degrees, I think. Probably going to be snowing. I don't think I've been more excited for a playoff game in
ever.
At least I can't think of one, because I think the difference between this and other games, we've had Brady before. So it's kind of like, this should be easy. There's still that seed of doubt where I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a good game. But then I'm also like, you know what? I'm ready to take it, to take my lumps if we happen to lose. But also, I am ready to be the most insufferable boy on the playground if the Patriots win.
No doubt about it. And we wanted to address, because we see some people just kind of being all cutesy with Bills Mafia and whatnot. And I hopped on our Twitter and used the example. I mean, King Leonidas, the king of the Spartans, he wasn't fraternizing and, talking good things about the Persians before he went go kill Xerxes, throwing a spear through Xerxes' face. No, he was not speaking good about the Persians. In fact, he fucking hated the Persians.
Hated them.
I don't think Rambo was fraternizing with the people that he was going to kill before he stabbed them in the face with his Bowie knife. No, that's not how combat works. Football is combat. This is as close to legal combat as you get nowadays. They are modern day gladiators, and the battles are Mondays, Thursdays, Sundays. I had to think about that.
Sometimes Saturdays. There's been a Tuesday game.
There was a Tuesday game. I guess they got to have one on a Wednesday now, so Wednesday doesn't feel left out. But this is the expected of fan bases. We're not going to be friends. We're not. No. We're not like, oh, the Raiders made the playoffs. Good for you guys. It's like, well, if you run into us, we're gonna skull fuck.
No, I hate you. I hate you. If you are not a Patriots fan, I hate you. Bills Mafia, I hate you. If I have to sacrifice one of you for the Patriots to win, don't think I won't do it.
Yeah, so be it. It's like that's just necessary, but it's all in the name of combat, and that's just how it works. No hard feelings. It's nothing personal. Nope. I don't hate you as a person. I'm sure you're a great guy. I'm sure you go home to your family and like, gee whiz, honey, I had such a good day at work today. I don't care because you support and give your money and your time to something that I despise. It's like, I don't like Scientologists because they believe in hocus pocus, aliens are going to come back and save us all. No, that's not how this works. Okay. I don't like what you believe in. So we're enemies.
Bang. So I didn't think we'd ever get a Scientology reference on here, but dude, I'm right there with you. Listen, you Bills fans going to the zoo with your lions. Yeah. I don't. Again, no one will know.
Feline cat. Huggers.
No one will know that joke until it's time. But I don't.
Until it's time.
You Bills fans.
Place down.
I will. It will be a glorious burn down.
Like Django walking away from the mansion as it goes up in flames.
Yep. Yeah. That literally that will have to be an in-person one too. I don't understand, and Liam, I feel like we are on the same wavelength here. I don't understand the civil, cordial fan base. Yeah. That's not fun as a fan, because it's like the kind of like you. Okay, so you comparing this game on Saturday to Leonidas going against Xerxes, all that stuff, right? You know what? To me, that makes sense. You know why? Because I am strapping up. Yeah. I'm getting ready to go to war. Yep. If I have to take some people out, so be it.
Your day revolves around it. You
are goddamn right. Right now, I am Arnold Schwarzenegger putting the black war paint on because Predator is running around in the woods right now.
And that is those me. Bills Mafia people are in the woods, like
doing their little with their fucking the teeth with the things.
It just zooms in. It's like Mike Sullivan, height 5'9", age 400 years old, occupation, whatever you do.
What? Yeah. So yes. So I don't understand it. As Patriots, it doesn't, to be a fan, the whole fun of it, and this is kind of more of like a macro meta thing. The whole fun of being a fan is being ridiculous like this, living by every play, where it's like, no, like I hate you. If you are my Tom Brady, you are no longer on the Patriots. I hate you. I know everybody thinks that Patriots fans should bow down, kiss the rings, love Tom Brady. No, not me. Not me. I hope you lose. You chose another team over my team, you dumb pretty boy bitch. Why don't you go hang out with Alex Guerrero and scam cancer patients? I don't like you. I don't like Gronk. I'm a Patriots fan at the end of the day. Exactly. So Bills Mafia, love you when we're not playing you. Last year when you guys were in the playoffs, I was rooting for you. I wasn't. See, you want to know why I was? I fell under the trap. I was like, Bills Mafia, it's a cute little story. Guess what, bitches? The story ends this Saturday. The Patriots are winning. It's going to be a snow game. The Patriots will beat the shit out of you. They're going to run for, I'm going to say they'll run for $150. Matt Jones will throw for 210 yards, maybe. Yeah, not too much. Nothing crazy. I think maybe one of them will be like a busted coverage type of a thing because, snow, bad weather. Patriots are winning this game.
Patriots are winning this game.
Let's just call it what it is. Patriots
call a spade a spade. We are winning this game. It's so difficult to beat a team multiple times in a season.
It is.
And we split perfectly down the middle. So now there's a third rematch, and it just comes down to, who do you trust more? McDermott and the Orchard Park Bills? Or do you trust old Billy B, the Sith Lord, coming out the tunnel, dun, 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 dun,
The Sith Lord
with his army of psychopathic dog killers like Matthew Judon. The answer is pretty clear here. I mean, one quarterback is soft. The other one is a future all-time great and will probably steal Josh Allen's wife and house and cars.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, not if you're Matty B or Diego.
No, of course. Well, he's not the franchise quarterback. So
no. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. Can't win with him. Can't win with him.
Can't win with him. Can't win without him.
Can't win with him. Can't win without him. I'm going to go 17-16 Patriots.
Ooh, you dick.
It's going to be close.
Okay.
It's going to be
All right.
close. Yep.
17 was the first
close.
number that popped into my head.
Yep. Yeah, right. It just seems right. Seems good. 17-16 Patriots. That's my thing. If it's snowing, if it's not snowing, I'm going 20-17. Still 17. I love the 17 number.
I'm
Patriots.
Going 24-14 Patriots.
Oh,
24-14, baby. I don't think it's that close. But if you give Bill this much sample size on a team, he's going to eat that up. He knows. He's seen you. You cannot beat Bill in the regular season and expect him not to come back with fury. You can beat Bill in the last game of the season and then beat him in the Super Bowl because we've seen that once. But you can't give him this much material on your team. When Bill's, he's probably told Josh McDaniels, he's like, just give him half the playbook. Just give him half the playbook. Don't give him anything. I'm sure we'll see him in the playoffs. Just half. Just run it on 3rd and 8. Run it. Just run and draw.
Run it on 3rd and 8.
Run and draw. They'll have no idea.
So I think because the Bills game was the one afterwards where we said that they were the jet sweeps, those were all out, right? Like they weren't doing that shit.
Yeah,
they weren't doing the things. Yeah, they weren't doing the things. So I think
now it's trick play city.
You want to know what I think is going to happen? I think, and this is a bold prediction, my favorite play is finally going to work. I think that the flea flicker is gonna show up for the Patriots, and it's finally going to work. It has not worked this season, and it's pissed me off.
No,
because it's my favorite play.
Really bad.
Very bad. It just everything about it, because like when the running back gets it, you see him do his little he runs to the line, and then I'm like, I stand up. I'm like, oh my god, it's happening. It's happening. I drop my buffalo chicken dip. I'm like, here it is. This is it. And then he drops back, and you see it. And you see it because the quarterback always drops back, and he does like the and you can tell if it's going to be a good play because the second he gets it, he drops back like 2 steps, throws it. You know it's going to be good. If he holds it, we're fucked. I think this is the game. You know what? I'm going to double down. It's going to be a flea flicker to Jonnu Smith. Imagine if that shit happens.
Hey, it happened in week 2 against the Jets.
I think it happens. I think the flea flicker works. I think the trick plays come out a little bit here. You know what the Patriots haven't done this year? They haven't done the eligible offensive lineman catching the ball.
Yes, which is big time.
So I think that'll be that might be something they pull out, especially if they're down like 10 points or something.
I'm leaning towards a Jacoby Myers touchdown pass. That's what I'm leaning towards. They're gonna use it every playoff. They're like, which one of you guys can throw? And it's always like the slot wide receiver. I can. All right. Calling upon you.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a Jacoby Myers touchdown pass to Mac Jones.
I was going to say that.
A la the, and I hate to call it this because it's not this, but the Philly special. It's not the Philly special. It's a simple reverse throw.
That's
but
what I'm talking about.
I think it's going to be something. It's going to be something like that.
It's deep. It's dense.
You suck. I think it's going to be something like that. I just want to win. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care what the score is. I don't care. I don't want the season to end. How quick is this season gone by?
Crazy.
So
I was
quick,
talking
right?
about that the other day. I was like, between like fantasy and like watching the games and talking about it on here, it's like, maybe it's just because I've been doing so much involving the season, but I feel like we got a longer season than ever before, and it still seems shorter than ever.
And it feels quicker. Yeah, I was thinking about that today when I was kind of getting ready with the awards and shit. I was
There's like 5 weeks of football left. How is that possible?
Yeah, how did this happen? I don't understand, but I don't know. All I'm saying though, I'm confident in this game. because
I am.
it's tough. It's tough to beat the Patriots twice. I know the Dolphins did it, piss off, but like it's tough to beat teams twice, and it's tough to beat Bill Belichick twice in a year. So I think Patriots edged this one out. And honestly, I think I even texted you, or maybe I tweeted it. I don't remember. If the Patriots win, I think it's Super Bowl, because I don't think any other team scares me, whether it's the Titans. Yeah, the Chiefs have Mahomes, and he's still very good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not as nervous about them. The Titans, I'm not nervous. Steelers are a joke. Bengals, I don't. Yeah, what? One of our guests said that the Bengals would beat the Patriots. Wrong. Yeah, that was just wrong. No. I know that your opinion can't be wrong.
Bill against young quarterbacks, like
no, done. Jamar Chase. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One guy. Yeah. And I think you even said that their defense sucks. So yeah, they're not going to get it.
Jackson on Jamar Chase. Dude's non-existent. Erase him from the game.
Done. And then, who else? The Raiders are in there. Raiders are going to be out. Yeah. I'm not worried. So if the Patriots beat the Bills, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the Super Bowl.
It's that simple. Super Bowl.
It's that simple.
I truly believe.
Yeah. That's it. So I think we've gone on long enough. I think this is about a 3-hour podcast right now as we stand. I love it. But Liam, do you have anything else to say before we finally dip out?
So Bills Mafia is ready for me come Saturday night and Sunday morning.
Bills Mafia is not ready. They're too busy at the zoo. They're not going to be around. So, for Liam McDade, for Diego and Maddie B, known confirmed Mac Jones haters, I am Mike Sullivan. This is Tuck Rule Takes. Bang bang, skeet skeet, TRT in your teeth. This is us. Goodbye. Go Patriots. Fuck the Bills
and the Lions.
And the Lions.
Sweet fate.